What up, peeps? Welcome to the Kisscapades Podcast. I'm your host, John Telewa, aka the Kiss Bandit. And in this show, we explore the key elements that shape our fulfilling existence, from health and well being to financial success, meaningful relationships, and the pursuit of happiness. We cover it all. Our guests include experts, professionals, and everyday individuals who have remarkable stories to tell. Tune in to learn practical tips, gain valuable insights, and discover strategies for personal growth and transformation. Whether you're seeking to improve your health, build your wealth, enhance relationships, or find lasting happiness, we got you covered. Welcome to today's episode. So another amazing episode with a very, very special guest. Welcome to today's show.
Thank you.
So now, before we even start anything, just tell the people your name, what you do, and then I think I'll start from there.
Hi, my name is Hilda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me start.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Hilda Beth Munene, alias known as Online Bestie on my social media platforms. I am a full-time content creator at the moment. I do hair on the side. I train drama. I train dance. I'm a creative, let's just say.
You train drama,
Yeah.
acting.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
At Caspian, at the core
Wait, what did you study in school?
campus.
Mm-hmm.
I have a degree in economics and statistics.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So why didn't you pursue that like professionally now? Because everything you've mentioned, it's arts.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know why I didn't.
So somebody just paid school fees and then you are like,
Yeah, but I loved it because
Uh,
I love maths. I'm a mathematician. I
mm,
love it.
uh-huh.
So I did. The course was aligned kiasi. I can't complain, but I wish if I was to go back, if I was to do another degree, I'd do something arts related.
Really? How
Yeah.
long was the course? The state economics, eh?
Statistics.
How long was it?
4 years.
4.
But nilikuwa shule for 6 years.
Hey. Okay, wait. Did you take breaks or what happened?
No. I was in
Why?
KU. Retakes did the thing. I think
Or like the strike, somehow what?
retakes.
So I didn't go to campus. So what are retakes?
When you fail, you get a retake. You have to retake that unit again.
I thought you said you love maths.
I did love maths, but I just didn't. How do I say this?
Is it a hard course?
It is, but then it's not. I feel like, especially you see, our main was the econ, but statistics was just an add-on.
Mm-hmm.
So the maths classes, I think they just didn't like us. But they genuinely think they didn't like us. I was having a conversation. Okay, nikiwa second year, I met with some babes. Wakaniambia, tunafanya course gani? Econ stats. Utamaliza. Watu wamalizangi.
What?
Nikacheka because in my head I was just like, what do you mean? I think half the time they just give people retakes because it's a money thing. Because you have to pay it again.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. It was very frustrating. But it was very frustrating.
And
Hata
then-
niligraduate nikasema tu, it's done.
Maybe that's why you got tired of it anyway.
Maybe, no, but I genuinely did like it. At some point, retakes ndo ilini
What kind of job do you do once you do such a course?
anything. That's the good thing about my course. You can do anything. Kama personally, I want to still practice it, but in politics.
In?
Politics. I want to be a politician
You want to be a politician?
at some point.
Hey, okay. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. So wait, why is your interest in politics pia kidogo? Tenders ama genuinely want to make change?
Just genuinely want to, to make change is that's an ambiguous statement, but I'd like to at least bring some value. Yeah.
What do you think about the current female politicians? You've seen the two that were rolling in the grass fighting. You know, you didn't see the two politicians who are like just rolling in the grass. The ones for Wajir
I took a social media break. Say niko nyuma na information.
Wait. You didn't see that video?
No.
What are you talking about?
Not up to date. Who was fighting? Women?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Let me see if I can pull the video. But either way, as we're talking, who posted this video? Yeah. Yes.
What? Why? That's mad. It's a women in leadership.
Yeah, they both have positions in government. But anyway, as I was saying, what are your thoughts on like just, female politicians?
We are just talking about femicide, and we saw the remarks from. Did you see hiyo naye najua niliona hiyo naye nilitumiwa?
Which one?
Who is she? I think an MP from Bomet. Something. She was talking about alikuwa ameulizwa kuhusu like the current happenings about femicide, and then she said it comes from what's the word? Kutegemea mtu in English? Dependency on men, like providence, nini, financial. And we were just there like, okay, I'm not saying it's entirely wrong, but from your position of power, I feel like let's do something. Let's have, because penye imefika do you want to know my take?
Yeah, I'll give you my take as well.
Okay.
As long as you don't get offended, right?
So,
see, we are talking.
Yeah, we are talking. We have a conversation.
Exactly. We have time, memory card here. We are starting off. We haven't even it's just because you're interested in politics, we might as well discuss a bit and then we'll still go to so many different things. Yeah. So what's your take on that?
I have a theory. I feel like everything stems from just the core value of someone, just your core beliefs as a person. Your choices sometimes they depend on so many things, where you're raised, how you grow up, like who you are around. But at the core of it all, staying at some places, as zingine nakuanga, to some extent, it's a choice. And to some extent, it's not. So my theory is we need to start with, I know we talk about empowering the girl child, but inakuanga, to me, it's face value. I feel empowering inafaa kuwa empowering in self-worth, self-belief. Yeah. I feel like that's where my theory is that's where we should be starting from.
Okay.
Yeah, because I also don't like the gender wars that are happening right now. It doesn't have to be men
back and forth
versus men. Yeah, tufiki mahali, we're not getting anywhere. So at the core of it all, let's just teach our kids, quote unquote, and that starts from us. Like build a nice environment, self-confidence, self-worth. Generally, I feel like that's where it stems from, both genders, but the women get affected more.
Okay. So what do you think about her statement specifically? The way she was saying it, I think maybe, is she the one who said like it's because women are greedy with money or something? Or that's another, that was another female politician who said that. God. Yeah. She said most young girls are, finding themselves in those situations because for their greed of money.
Not false. It's not entirely the truth, but there's some truth in it. But
what's the truth part?
We all do want money. It's not greed, but half the time kuna situations zenye mtu hujipata juu ya do. And kitambo I used to judge, but now I don't judge.
Like which one?
Half the people, unaona hata hizi mavita zuendelea. Unasikianga ni juu uko hapo juu ni yeye analipia watoto school fees ni yako na, and it's sad. But it's the reality for some people. That's what I'm saying. Ile self-worth, ile self-love, ile, I don't have to stay here just cause. I feel like hapo ndio ka. Unajua ushiangalia mtu uko like, why are you still there? Like, why are you still with that person?
Yeah.
Like, you can just tell. I made some remarks. Uliona ile video ya ule mbaba, it's a meme. Ya ni nyinyi mliniita hapa.
No, which one?
I know you know it.
No, you have the video like on your recent or kitambo?
Ni kitambo, imetrend.
So how will I find it?
Search tu ni nyinyi mmeniita hapa, you'll find it.
Okay, sawa, I'll find it.
Anyhow, acha nikusummarize.
Yeah.
This man, he's a nduthi guy. He's well in his 40s, 50s. He's married to a babe mwenye apparently walitoana kwa club. Alipata msupa akipigwa akamuokoa na hivyo ndio walianza maisha. Fast forward 9 years later, the babe says he has been cheating all over. He beats her and akukata. Chali mwenyewe alisema nilimpiga nikampatia black eye ndio a stand out from the rest. This is public information.
Okay.
At the same table, there was a 19-year-old there, pregnant for this man. Sawa? And a manza akamwambia nini? Toa ball wendo kule na ugali. Is that bad? And in my head, at first I thought ni mimi mjini kwa nafikira na vitu mingi kunjizu kwa skits. But in my head I'm just like, why would you stay with such a person? Umepigwa miaka 9. Ako everywhere. Sijui kuna nipata.
No, I get you.
It's just
but also remember, just sorry to interrupt. I do that a lot on our comment section. And I hope Leona, like if you watched Sarah's video, we're just like you keep interrupting her all the time. But I'm like, if you want a conversation where somebody's just talking and then me, I'm doing this. You know which channel you go to?
Want to throw shade?
No, not shade. Praise.
Nani?
Lynn Ngugi. You know?
Okay.
Because she literally asks you a question and then just say, well, you know. Have you ever seen that meme of the guy who does?
But yake inaeleweka cause.
Yeah, because that's how she does it. So me, I'm trying to have a conversation to understand you. The same way you were asking me, like, by the way, do you know me? I'm like, no, that's why I called you to the podcast. Because I want to know about you, more about you, and even like just your audience in general. Because I can see your social media, you've actually like also immersed like a huge audience, engagement and everything. Right? So back to what I was saying. I was mentioning there's this thing, like even if you did like a street interview, just went to a place and ask women in general, like, would you rather cry? Would you cry in a Range Rover or smile in a Boda? Or smile in a Boda? What do majority of the women in Kenya like right now? What do you think they'll choose?
Cry in a Range Rover, and I'm not even judging.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It gets to a point like even if you want to help, how do you help if that mentality is already instilled? Because that statement in itself, it says, because crying means abuse. It can be cheating, it can be beating me up or everything. And even it goes to an extent when somebody says like, would you rather marry a guy who has money and he abuses and beats you up, or a broke guy who loves you and does all the nice things? Which one do you think majority of the Kenyan women would choose?
Do we really have to choose though?
No, I'm just saying, which one do you think? Because if maybe my answers are wrong, I'll go to do a street interview and tag you on it so that we just understand. We get to the bottom of it.
But at the moment, naweza kuambia watu watasema a broke, peaceful guy.
Okay.
A trying.
Huh?
Broke. A trying.
Oh, you see.
A trying.
No, broke is broke.
Man.
Broke is broke.
Yeah,
in
broke
Kenya.
is broke.
Yeah.
Broke is broke, but there's trying. You can try.
Yeah, okay.
You can't be the try. Tebu niulize if I'd rather cry in a Range Rover.
There's nobody who's broke ati anasema azinajaribu kila. Of course they are trying. That's why they're broke.
Si kila mtu try.
But does anyone wake up in the morning just be happy to be broke?
No, but there are people who are okay just swimming in the sorriness of I'm just broke. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Okay, so I ask you, sir, would you rather cry in a Range Rover or be happy in a Boda?
I'll cry in my Range Rover.
Trust. Okay.
Trust.
Nice. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's what I'm saying. Like, even for you, you see, like, when I asked you that, like you said, like a majority would still pick the Range Rover thing because
Yeah.
crying means like I'd rather withstand a little bit of abuse, but at least he has money. So you see, even it goes back to that minister. She said it at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Temperature was too hot,
Yeah.
and she just didn't consider how sensitive the situation is because some people have been personally affected.
Yeah.
So maybe she should have used different words, a different approach, or everything. But you have to understand, like, even it's because of like our economical situation. The way you said, kuna watu wengine, it's not a choice.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand, like, I even have like escorts that are brought like on my podcast. And when you hear their stories, it's not, it's not fun. Because let's say, like, what would be like an ideal salary for you? If somebody like said, like, hey, I want to give you like a job for you to do an 8 to 5. What would be an ideal salary?
At the moment,
Yeah.
150 net.
That's take home, right?
Yeah.
After a tax.
Yeah.
Okay, so the escort / stripper was getting 70K per week. Yeah.
That's good money. No?
Yeah. But raped countless times, beaten up countless times, abused like proper, like even anally raped to a point where she passed out and she found herself in hospital. Yeah, so like all those things that can consider like, go wrong. For her, she was saying like in a week, if she missed like a black eye, cut lip, that was like completely normal. Yeah, some people not paying you. Yeah, but you can imagine somebody saying raped countless. She can't count how many times it's happened to her. But remember, the salary is how much?
Still. It still comes down. Muuliza to a simple question. Why do you think genuinely you deserve such kind of life? Like, if you ukiketi, atusemi usiende pesa, but then unajua unaweza
It's
kula
70 per week.
That's okay. Kula miezi tatu.
Remember,
miezi sita, anza kitu
before he
ingine.
said even the things that have happened to her, like when he said the salary, did you see like your facial expression?
Sikatai, but you can use it as a stepping stone.
Okay.
Ukweli? Because that's good money. You can start a really good business with it. So 3-6 months. Most of if you go through something, that's okay. We'll go through something. But you are a result of what you just allow over and over again.
So you're saying she had a choice to change?
She had a choice. To some point. She had a choice.
I'll tell you when her episode is out.
Sawa.
A very interesting person, by the way. But like now, because even now I was just asking her, and like, did you do anything? She just said she hasn't. She's retired, but doesn't have money or anything to show for it. Guess how much she pays for rent right now?
How much?
Say guess.
100.
100 what?
Ana pesa kabisa.
No, I'm asking 100.
Oh,
you said
100,000.
Oh, for rent? No, okay, I'll give you 2 more guesses.
Lower or higher?
Lower.
70.
No.
50?
No. 1,000.
Oh my God. Is that bad? But ni sawa. Unajua maisha iko maisha. You can pick up yourself.
No, but I'm still saying, like, unfortunately, a lot of people do think money is what they need, but money is not what you need. Because you might wish, like, for all the amount of money that you want, but if you're given that money, would you even know what to do with the money? For a majority of the people, no. That's why when you see people getting fired, like they go back to scratch, it's like somebody was never employed or anything. Because financial literacy is not something that's taught in school, unfortunately. So a lot of people are almost like a paycheck away just from being flat broke or just proper poverty. So it's not ideally about the money. People do think it's about the money. That's why like even like girls who are in the nightlife, unfortunately, the only thing I can advise them is like, make sure you save that money. Because, I see people eating these branches and I'm like, me, I have money, but I do not understand how people pay that much. Think about clubbing, nightlife, branches, shopping. like lifestyle inflation, like right now, is like on way overboard.
Yeah.
But it's like, we're in a space where now everybody's like YOLO. It's okay, but like I think it's gonna be like problematic for a lot of people in the next like 10 years. Because that lady is a prime example of like just money can come your way. But what exactly are you doing with it?
Yeah.
See, so I mean, I'm just get your numbers right. Save, invest, and just learn about money. I think that's one of the things that people can do.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to like now, the love for money. Is there any other take you have about that before we wrap up the femicide thing? Because you guys, did you go for their protest?
I did.
You
And
guys,
it was crazy.
you guys chased Pasaris, first of all. Isn't she? Oh, did I say something wrong? I'll just say what you want to say. She's cutting me off now.
No.
I'm just, so it's not me. Just say what you want to say.
No,
She's Nairobi women's rep. She was in Nairobi with other women, and you guys booed her and chased her away, almost.
Yeah, because unanata there are talks right now of this seat is very useless at this point. And I think it's very, very useful. Ni venye watu tu wamekuwa kwa hii position wanaifanya inaka jokes. And it's not, because what did she do genuinely? What did she? At the height of femicide, hiyo time hata tukiscream at the top of our lungs, what did she do? Nothing. Alafu toke kwa match, alafu. It just didn't make sense. Also, during the match, we were clearly matching nini, and there were still men saying, ini shida yenyu. Wache kuambia wasichana waende kwa baba. Mwache sijui nini. And in my head, I'm like, what the actual hell? Hii nguvu yote ya kusema wanawake, si tutumie kusema wanaume. It's not funny.
I'm just saying, but that goes back to the gender wars that you don't like.
It's not
Because understand, you've said it. The people who are there, they were telling you. So you can't pretend like you didn't find those guys who are actually telling you how they feel. So, I mean, like the guy who was saying like, if somebody eats his pizza and then you try to hip or something, they'll kill them. That was on the first protest. I mean, he was there. He told you exactly what he was going to do. And he still went home in a matatu with someone's daughter or any. Who knows if he's done it once, twice, or 3 times right now. He said it, and he was very passionate about it. So for one, we can agree those guys are still there. They express what they're going to do, and they just don't care. They don't care. Because a match is once a year probably, right? Okay, you guys match once a year. And then how many girls are killed between January to December? Every week we see on the news.
No, I would have told you to call out the men, but the men who do that. But at this point, when you make it's counterproductive. Because if they don't give up, can we curse?
Yeah.
Because if they don't care at all, talking to someone who doesn't give a fuck just results into nothing. Me and Taishi yangu tu ni, let's just empower our girls.
Yeah.
But then you can smell a man's fuckery from afar. And you can. So hata inanisumbwanga akili kuona tu mtu na like ifike mahali kwa maisha yako ujiulize why you attract the people you do. Ikuwe ni watu wa hasira wa kukupiga, it's okay. Saa zingine hata ni vitu subconscious. Maybe there's a part of you that craves something like that. And it's perfectly okay, but you choosing to be there, that's the problem.
Do you know why girls love bad boys? Historically till today. Like if you had a choice of a guy who does everything right, gives you flowers and everything, and then there's a bad boy. He's the one who's always, just even think about your typical models, socialites, nini. You'll just see. He's a guy who has like 2 baby mamas, he switches to the other one, uses this one, goes to the other one.
Tell me why.
And it's always like just pretty girls. It's kind of like that's what girls want. And you can only imagine, when we're talking about like influencers or people in position, they influence younger girls. And, it's almost connected with money, back again to money. If somebody knows like, women are around me because of money, like, I never used to have this, now I have money. So now he'll misuse. And if you think about it, like even think, just look on TikTok. Haven't you seen on TikTok, like those guys who have like, 2 girlfriends, 3 girlfriends nowadays, the theme, and it's being pushed. And you'll just hear girls are saying like, okay, like even side chicks. Like right now, that's just a common thing in Nairobi. Most people who are in relationships have side chicks.
No, Musema, if you're not, generally deep down, if you know you're not monogamous, you know you're not monogamous.
Yeah.
Kweli ama uongo?
True.
Si useme tu, patana na another babe who's not monogamous. Like,
Yeah.
make life easier. I feel
True.
like we're adults. Anywho, to that, there's something else to say.
Yeah. Remember, all this is based on like, because you mentioned politics and just like the social issues that are happening. So money, women, bad relationships, maybe. That's what we're talking about. Bad relationships and women picking like maybe.
I have remembered. There's a time I posted a video about how women in their 30s look good and nini. And there were men in my... There's a certain theory that has been passed down that I've seen a lot, especially in comments, when guys say, but when we were young, you guys didn't want us. You wanted... And now that we are old, we now want the young. And in my head, I'm just like...
Oh, are you the one who did that video about asking... Wait, what was the name? But I understand the context of what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I'm just like... I feel like any man who said... let me not generalize, but most men who say... Zengine zinahonga tu excuse tu ya kukua msherati. Zengine tu ni excuse. Because... Yeah, when we were young and broke, you guys didn't want us. No woman who loves you will leave you because you don't have money.
Huh?
Do you know the number of women who are stuck with broke men even till their 50s?
All the women who've ever left me, it was because of money. And
they
told me.
There's always something else.
Nope.
Take it from a babe.
Listen, even if it comes to bedroom matters, trust me, the broke guys, that's the only thing you have to offer. So your performance has to be like A1. 2, like anything else. No, in general, if you just think about it, I'm just trying to think. But that also there's some truth to that as well. Because even like, I've had like, I don't know if I saved that video. You want to know like a girl likes you, and if you're broke, even if you're not broke, she'll use money on you. Buy you presents. She can go out. She will go out. Exactly. Why did you roll your eyes? It triggered a memory of things. Somebody you're giving presents.
No.
Yes.
No.
Somebody you're giving presents. You're going out of your way. And this nigga was just ruthless and appreciative, most probably.
No, cannot be me. No.
You don't buy guys presents and stuff. Do you spend money on guys if you're dating them?
Yeah, but you have to be worth it.
Exactly.
You really have to be. I can't do it for someone who doesn't appreciate.
But that's what I'm saying. You see, like even for your case, and that explains the concept you're saying. If you really genuinely like that person, even when he's broke or he's nini, he'll still be there. So I understand that part, and it also explains why when you give girls the choice of like, crying in a Range Rover, nini, she'll be here. She doesn't like this guy, but she's like, see, at least if it's for the money, let me get like a bit of abuse.
No.
And then, not true.
No, you can tolerate him for the money.
Oh,
but
yeah.
abuse is where you draw the line.
Most
really. You can tolerate a man for his money. You can.
Yeah.
In fact, inakwanga very I don't know. It's so yani hadi mtu akikushika unasikia like it's just not a nice life to live. I don't know, but the money makes it easier. You think? But abuse,
I mean, that's where I may have seen like the most, like just people cheating and everything. It doesn't have necessarily to just be physical. It can be verbal and even just like, somebody who's cheating repeatedly. We see it all the time. That's why I'm just saying, think about like your top favorite socialites in the country. Yeah. It's very few that you will see are in just one relationship. And, we have like 2 or 3. But like the other ones, what do they preach? Like, if he's broke, leave him, go to the next person. It's... And TikTok is so toxic, you know that, right?
Yeah.
With like, and we'll get like even to just like even some of the things that people write in your comment section. You know how toxic it is. If you want to know the truth about something or how people feel, post on TikTok. guys, like, they don't even hide their profiles. But I'm like,
They do. They
oh,
rarely
but
have
some
to.
don't. Like,
Okay.
I think having a pseudo account is just like too much.
They do.
It is too much work. Okay, so what's your take?
I advise babes to date with your brain, not your heart. Especially when you're young. Under 25, before hata akili ikue, be very selfish. It's okay to be with that. I'm not going to use the word broke.
Yeah.
Leave a broke man, but stay with a trying man. Sawa? Najua, we are saying toxicity nini, but it's cause I understand where the babes are saying leave that man. Cause half the time, women are there. Hakuna do, aupendwi, au nini. The least he can do is at least have money or just try. Hata niliona TikTok fulani say last week ikisema it's so unfair the way men have so many options and women don't.
Options for?
For people to choose.
No. Options come if you have money. I'm just telling you, like, because, I've been a guy who didn't have money. I can tell it's not easy.
Do you think it's a psychological thing?
It's not psychological. Like, you can literally, even like they like you, they won't hang around, They can be with you temporarily, but they have to go to somebody who has money, That's going to happen. So even if you try, especially like the era we are in right now, there's too much pressure. Like maybe a few years ago, there was no that kind of pressure. Social media wasn't painting like just luxury. Now, see, everyone is going to brunch. Everybody's shopping. Everybody's doing what? And it's constantly in people's faces all the time. And, you see people going under depression. Like the biggest theme of depression that I find like on my podcast, and I have guests who say they've gone through depression and stuff. It's just because they're saying they're not where they wanted to be in life. But I think it's not because they're not there. It's because now you're seeing other people moving. I'm at the illusion of moving because, like people post highlights. You don't know if that's their real life or not. You don't know if they're starving at home, but constantly it's in your face, like as a reminder. See, people are getting nowadays, people used to do like just simple birthdays. And nowadays you have to do a shoot. Girlies have to show up with like presents and everyone comes with their present color coded and everything. And then let's not forget the people who receive new cars every birthday. Like I'm just like, yo.
That's okay. If you can scratch there, fine. But personally, me and my friends and I, si operate penye tunaweza fika. Sawa? Kama ni birthday yako imefika na sina do, nakwambia sina do. Hakuna pressure ya kutokea na flowers. It just depends on where you are at life. But ikifika mahali and you can afford all that, wache kuita pressure. Juu kuna wase wenye they genuinely can afford that. Hata hawajident. Difference inakwanga kuketi chini social media na kujikompare na wase kama hao. I think that's where the problem is. But I don't think it's social media. It's only pressure if you allow yourself to be pressured by it.
So you don't think social media is pressuring or giving people this depression that we're going through now? And it's not even just like, young guys. Even older generation people are still suffering from it because it's constantly. That's what I'm saying. Like you open Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, it's there. And also like understand, like I just talk to people every single day. And like even if I ask about cars, like now recently, if anyone I ask about like their dream car, what's your dream car?
Do you want to ask someone 6'5"?
No. Just say. I'm quiet. That I haven't said.
6'5" is still in my list. It's number 2.
What's number 1?
No, it's my car.
I just want you
pop
to say
out with it. No, I reserve.
Okay, brand. Then you don't have to say a specific any brand.
It's an Axela.
Which one is that?
I'll pop out with it.
Oh, okay. But now consistently, like what I'm getting on my, answers is either GLE, G-Wagon, and those cars are bloody expensive.
Yeah.
But I've just tried to explain to a lot of people, like, that car is very expensive. And even in general, if you just think about, like, look around, even like maybe your dad's friends or mom's friends, do you see anyone with that car? Like, there's so many other things that money can go to do, like, because we're talking about like 18, 20 M. that can go to so many other investments that will take care of like your whole family in general. Everybody be going to school, pocket money, rent is being paid through investment. But remember, somebody saying that for driving. So if you're thinking about buying a car that's worth 20, you need to have at least 100M. So in general, if after 5 years, those things don't start lining in motion, you might start falling into depression because you're thinking like, I'm not achieving this. And I'm not talking about me. I'm just saying like from young kids, and I'm not even like just making this up. Just think about TikTok when we're seeing people crying, people posting their M-Pesas because they misused money. They said like, I was trying to live a lifestyle that I couldn't afford. And even like older celebrities. So we've seen Akina Mustafa coming here, asking for funds and everything because they can't make ends meet. We've seen some of the best celebrities like, in very hard financial times because of chasing lifestyle. So we can't ignore and just say like, why are you falling for pressure? But that's what I'm talking about, mentoring young people. Because can you tell that 18-year-old who's in school right now and they're seeing G-Wagons, GLEs, Benzes, people traveling, expensive makeup, brunch, everything. Can you tell them like, usipewe pressure, like when you finish school, you'll get all these things? No, because they're dreaming, they're ambitious. They just want to finish school and come and tackle and enjoy all these things.
I get your point. And it's not bad. I feel like it's not bad to dream.
Yeah.
I have 2 things to say, actually.
Yes.
Number 1, how you spend your money will determine if you're going to stay broke or not. It's not about the money flow and whatever. How you manage. Niliona quote fulani ilikuwa inasema, it's not about earning money. Well, it is, but it's about how you use your money.
Not how much you make, it's how you use what you make.
Anywho, number 2, I don't call it peer pressure. I'm not negating it. I know it's there. But musema ukiangalia post ya mtu and you feel some type of way. Like you want to cry, now you're feeling, at that very point, jiulize ni emotion gani inakuwa sparked up by that video. Inaweza kuwa tu, maybe it's just something you'd want to have genuinely. Ama you just need to give yourself time and grace. There's always something. It's only pressure if you're pressured by it. And kukuwa na pressure si mbaya. Kitu ni, angalia ile position uko. Work in your position. Mtu sema, control what you can. You cannot get that G-Wagon by tomorrow. You cannot get a CX-5 by tomorrow.
Yep.
But penye tu uko, it's fine. It's okay to dream. It's okay to like something. It's okay to manifest by someone. But at this very moment, if you can't control it,
it's not a must.
If kuwa pressure, hata ukisikia pressure imekuwa mingi, finya uninterested. Never see that person again. And that's okay.
True. Because it happens to the best of us. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just something that people need to figure out how to navigate because that's where we are now.
Watch hata social media, hata your friendship. Ile kasako, baby, unajua penye maisha nafanga mahali kila mtu ana take their own route. Kuna mtu mwenye anaweza grow haraka kushinda wengine. Yeah. And now it's just a matter of now you can't even be around that friend of yours without feeling.
And girls, it's worse.
I feel it's a normal human emotion, just that men are not aware of it.
That's what I'm saying. Because I remember, I told somebody on a previous podcast, like I remember like, like some girls calling me broke like a couple of years ago. And I was genuinely broke by then. But I didn't feel it. That's what was bothering me. But I'm like, how comes I'm not feeling bad? See, I thought this was supposed to be an insult. Yeah, I'm looking at them, I'm like, no, I'm still working hard. So I think I'm just about to like, figure my things out. But I wasn't hurt. But for girls, they take it like, we hear these stories though.
Take it as what?
You can't tell if you're to call one girl calling another girl broke. In fact, the biggest wars that you can see like on TikTok nowadays, somebody trying to tell the other one like, you're not worth nini, your life. The only insults is nakwaga like, you're still living sijui where, you're not here, may have this and this. So, I mean,
I feel like that's
I've never seen guys calling each other about money like on TikTok, on like Kenyan TikTok.
Cycle issue, like depending on the people you're around and you've had. Yeah, I don't think it's general for all women.
Really?
No.
I think like you and your friends, you just have covered this in your circle, and it's just you and the way you protect yourselves.
Yeah,
Because it's
I like my friends reasonable.
yeah,
Like very emotionally aware, mature. Because
that's good.
vitu zingine tunaweza ongea. Because if you're maybe progressing at a very fast rate and I'm feeling a little behind in life, but then ndakushow. Hata ukikuja kuniannounce nini. And akwambia congratulations. But sahi penye niko, my heart is not in the right place. For real, it's not in the right place. Instead of kwanza kusikia vibaya nende nikuongelele nifungue TikTok nianze kusema
story time guys, story time.
We can just be I don't have the emotional capacity to be happy for you like that, like in your face and be there, and that's okay. I can take a step back and work on my heart and come back. Yeah.
But you can admit that that's something that's very common on TikTok. Not unless you also always click on not interested, everything not interested. Yeah. No.
Not on my page.
But you see now, since you're blocking it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it does exist.
Yeah, because I think I was like, even on a previous episode, and I've always said that it's like even every year, like I have a discussion. And when I'm talking about like money, I'm always like thinking about like even just the hookup culture that we have like right now, you know. You know, a chick would tell you, like, instead of going on a date, just give me that money and then, I'll hook up with you. But that's just, that's not on your For You page as well? Wait, that's foreign.
Ati badala ya kunipeleka date unitumie.
Okay, ama watu kula fare juu ya nini? How do people kula fare? It's because of, they were going where? To kula?
I didn't want to come.
Okay, you are going to do nini exactly?
Wanataka kunikula.
Okay, so you cooler the fare because
I don't want to come.
But if you were to go, wasn't the guy gonna compensate you with something? He was just gonna fiaka you just like that. Yeah, because we it's not like, and I understand, like I've said again, that's where we are, but we can't ignore and just say like these things don't happen.
They do happen.
They do, and you can hear it from top of the radio when people are talking about it. And honestly speaking, think about like even someone like Kanyari. No, because like the sister was my friend, Scarlett, stayed here somewhere close. We were neighbors and stuff. But I didn't know she was going through like those financial issues and stuff. But even the bro said a testimony in church like, yo, my sister loved money. And unfortunately, somebody promised her this and this and this. And that's how she ended up in that situation. And I just liked his approach because he was like, yo, it's happened. Why am I supposed to sugarcoat it in any other different way? So that if there's anyone in the church who has a daughter or there's a daughter watching, I'm telling you as the brother, this is what happened. He didn't go around the bush at like, oh, nowadays men are bad. No, he said like, somebody was able to flash that. She liked her nice lifestyle and she was drawn to that. And it was so unfortunate because a week before that, I had just bumped into her. But then again, also just to talk about that in general, let me see.
Unajua kuna kitu sijaelewa though.
Tell me.
Because right now, I hustle for myself, yeah? I make money for myself. Na the thought of ati mtu atanipigia simu nimlipie rent na nilipe tu every single month. Niitishwe hundreds of thousands. Nitume tu. Kwani amogopangi kutumia pesa saa zingine hivyo tu. I'm not on your woman.
Oh, like
fine.
Guys.
And you're just spending money on different. Unatumia tu pesa left, right, and center. What's the problem?
Oh, but here, see, like I've told you, like if you think about the alternative, how much is it gonna cost you when you're going on a date? It's the same money you might give her. Calculate Uber, going, eating, and then there's a 90-day rule. My friend. Unacheza na that net salary that you're talking about. By the time she thinks whether you're boring or not, and the same person, they'll be like, hey, Sawa, why don't we just make this quick and everything? Yeah, because that's why we're saying the hookup culture, that's where we are right now. And that's what it is. So, saying top 10 sex tourism countries in the world, where do you think Kenya is? Even if it's top 100.
I wouldn't be shocked. What a top 10.
Okay, so you can just scroll. See if you can find Kenya somewhere in top 10.
Hata sijaenda mbali. For top 10. Number 9, we're trying.
Yeah.
It's but I feel like again.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't ignore statistics.
True.
When you see these old white men flying in the country, think they're coming to see these animals that I really want to come and see lions and rhinoceros and they're coming here for girls. These apartments, crazy apartments where you're seeing girls. What do you think they're paying them?
For a hookup, not to be killed. For a hookup.
Okay, listen. First of all, you understand there are no rules and regulations that protect this. Even you understand that as somebody who's trying to get into politics, is prostitution legal or illegal in the country? I don't whisper now. The mic is working perfectly. Is it legal or illegal?
Illegal currently.
Okay. So how do you protect an illegal activity? It's like me, you catch me selling weed, cocaine, and heroin, and then I'm like, why aren't the police protecting me? You see, now it's so hard because there's a thin line there. But remember, if we're top 10 in the world, imagine how that activity is fully active, like in the country. So it's very hard. Even if the people want to protect, they'll be like, and then remember, we have a religious president. He prays every Sunday. You can roll your eyes. He goes on, he prays for you too, every Sunday. So do you think you can convince him to pass a law to protect girls and that sex industry? It's not going to happen. Maybe when you get in position, you can implement such things. Would you implement it? Would you make it legal? And make sure when you're answering, this can be played. This can be played in future when you're in politics. You'll be like, yo, do you remember this podcast you did 10 years ago? Eh? Remember what you said?
But it has been happening for years, though. Si kitu mpya.
Selling drugs, killing, all those things are illegal. They've been happening for years. Yes, we know.
Can't we have something just... But unajua the core of it all, abuse and unaliving someone is still wrong. No? Can't you just hook up with this babe, pay her money, and end as ako? Siyashamaliza part of the bargain.
Listen, I'm asking a question, and again, be careful how you answer it. Eh? Are you supporting illegal activity that's happening in the country as a future politician?
I'm not supporting it, but we can't ignore it.
You're saying people can do it, but do it...
Hata najaribu kufikiria hata kama
do the right thing. Gani? Hey, up front, what laws will you implement? Lipa kwanza, lipa pole pole. Maybe if my salary is coming at the end of the month, I can pay kidogo saizi. After 2 weeks, I pay kidogo. What kind of policies would you introduce? For safety, making sure people are paid, making sure people are, because I went you see, it's very tough if you think about it.
Tough. There's no other morally or legally correct way to go about it.
It's very, very tricky. Very tricky. I was in Amsterdam 2 years ago, and you go there, and then you come back to Kenya, you realize, I don't even understand how those people live.
Banana?
Because, their sex shops, how they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say, it's girls on the window, on display, yeah. So you can choose, if you want this one, and then, you just ask how much. It tells you, through the window. But you get to see them, in different outfits and, when you're in red, district. But, there are places where, you'll have those two shops. And then next, there's, a snack bar and stuff. And then next, there's a place now for, smoking weed and everything. So, you think about all those things, and then, these are all legal entities. They're paying tax and everything. And then, you come back to Kenya and you see, how everything else is just done.
But then, not just in Baya, because these things happen. People hook up left and every single time. No, genuinely.
I haven't said it's bad.
In a religious country, naona vitu zingine kuongea na nguvu ni mbaya. But I had a conversation the other time about the porn industry.
Yeah.
And the way, statistically speaking, Kenya iko amongst the,
In consumption
in
or producing?
consumption. Actually, that's the thing. We are just consuming it. And the thing is, kama vitu zingine, kama this pedophilic things zinakwanga pushed by the porn sites. And my question was, what if we just made, you know, nice
I'm listening.
nice content. That was my argument. Like, just nice. I'm thinking if
You're very vocal on your TikTok. So please, your people will be disappointed if you start sugarcoating things here.
I'm not
and they're like,
sugarcoating because if people watch na kitu una watch ni stepfather, stepdaughter, whatever's. What if you just make a nice video about a man and a woman? Because
people don't enjoy just simple
it
videos
doesn't
anymore.
have to be simple, but we're just cutting out.
You know, it's like, think about like that time, like KRA busted, like, you know, dildos and everything at the airport. Do you remember that time?
Yeah, I do remember that time.
Yeah. So like, just imagine like all that. Even if you looked at the size of the toys like other ones, I'm telling people are not into normal things anymore. Just even by that. And even that aside, when we're talking about like even sex tourism, you know, when some of these old white guys come, they don't come for middle-aged girl, or just some come for like underage kids. You know that?
A disturbed man.
Do you know that, or you're not aware?
I'm not aware. I'm disturbed.
You haven't heard about these Malindi stories, Diani stories?
And
You haven't heard about moms sending their kids to the beach to go and hook up with white people and come back with dollars? Are you telling me you want to be a politician and you don't know about these things? I'm just saying those issues are there. They exist. And understand the craziest part, they've existed for over 15 years. There is literally some guy, there's a registered sex offender from Netherlands who has a children's home in Kenya. And it was shut down and he opened another one.
So smart.
And you know what he does to kids there, right?
Again, no natuni kama it all boils down to.
And he's still in this country right now. An actual registered sex offender. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, once you start introducing laws, it's so tricky because even in Europe, there are some countries that were trying to explain that pedophilia is not wrong. There are people who are just attracted to kids when it comes to sexuality. So mpaka once you start introducing all those things, you better be prepared with what it's going to come with, because there's so much that goes on in there.
Okay.
What's
something to think about.
What's the age of consent in Kenya?
18.
Okay. So at least you just make sure everything that's being introduced, you look at an 18-year-old and think, the way you were saying, like, if you're below 25,
yeah,
your brain doesn't really know exactly. Yeah, you might introduce a law, think you're doing something good for the young kids. And like we've said, even you've said it, somebody is not well developed at that age. You can imagine, like, even just the pressure like kids give each other at 18, or the videos that you see them doing like on TikTok at 18. I don't think they are capable of making such life-changing decisions, because 7-8 years later, it's going to affect their lives, but terribly. Right? Enough for social issues,
Yeah,
You have a lot to think about, right?
Yeah.
So you'll go and address them on your TikTok, and then here you've refused to address. You're just like, hey, it's too much.
I need to think through. I need to think through my words.
No, true. But just food for thought, and we can always still do like a part 2.
Yeah.
Now, like, let's even dive in now to like just content creation.
Yeah.
As you're doing it, to you, is it more about impact, or you're trying to establish it as a business? Are you looking at money or like just impact?
Initially, genuinely, I came here for the money. I was here to make money. I came here as a job. Again, I'm a
Want to make
freelancer.
money, yeah.
Never been employed a day in my life.
Mm.
I came here to make money, but I think I just came in to be me, just be me. Hizi zengine naona ni kama tu ni results. Yeah, the impact came afterwards. I think it just came from me just being me, authentically me.
Why do you think so many people are attracted to like just your content?
Because it's me. I mean,
yeah. True.
I just feel like I created such a good community. But I'm very grateful for it. Watu wanakuanga tu so nice. It's uplifting.
Yeah.
I can see we are having, actually nil notice most of my DMs nakuanga za super wako 90, 21, 22, 22, 23.
Really? And those are young girls. You can only imagine what that means.
Yeah. Again, it's it can be a lot. Saa zingine hata nikifeel my cup is not full, I take a step back. Juu sitaki kuharibu.
How?
There are times when, because my content is mostly me talking half the time, so nil notice saa zingine when I'm not okay, I can start projecting to some extent. So nile to breathe in,
like projecting
do other
how?
content.
So that other people can understand exactly. No, just give us just something small, like just you project in what ways. People understand, like even from the podcast, it's not just entertainment. People are just getting enlightened and just educated about just different things.
I can, for example, commenting on other people's stories, because that gets a lot of views. Like if something happens to another TikToker, I can talk about it. But saa zingine inakuanga from a place of, unaweza record video alafu kitu chini niambie, no, these views are just projected. Because mi husema you can only see life from your own lens. Na vitu zingine inaweza ongelelea na maybe I'm just, you
don't understand where the other person is coming from.
Yeah, so saa zingine ni just take a step back. Yeah, otherwise I love content creation. I love being a creative. I love making videos, and I try to make as many as possible.
So I saw somebody asking like, they need longer YouTube videos they need longer form content for YouTube. Do you have a YouTube?
Yeah, I just started my YouTube channel.
Oh,
it's
really?
fairly new. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Please subscribe.
So
Online Bestie.
Tell them where to find the content.
Online Bestie on YouTube. Actually, Online Bestie everywhere. Yeah.
So what kind of content do you want, Nini? And why did it take you a while to go to YouTube? Because I kind of think like, somebody who does hair. Do you do skincare routine?
Yeah.
What kind of skincare routine do you do? You have nice skin.
Thank you.
What?
I have a whole routine. Actually, my content is just wellness, beauty, lifestyle, everything about being a babe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So can guys subscribe? Will they get anything there?
Yeah, you will get everything. Even nikiongea, I mostly address the women. Because 90% of my following is women. Yeah. Mwata mushtuka saa zingine nikisikia mtu akinisalimia kwa njana ni mama kule, you watch my that's nice.
What? That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So what made you go now to YouTube instead of starting with YouTube? Because I think like Kitambo guys just started you with YouTube automatically. And then when TikTok emerged, people just started building up on TikTok. And then now they crisscross the content.
Short form was easier for me because I can do a lot of things. Plus vlogging ilinishinda unless I need a camera for vlogging.
So you have a phone?
Simu itoshi. I need Tosh. Anyway,
you want a better phone or what are you talking about?
Another phone or like a camera just for vlogging, something. Anywho, so my long form content on YouTube is just basically what I talk about on TikTok, but answering questions on like a personal deeper level. Just longer. Do you know the 30-second video? I can only say as much.
Yeah, can't really much.
Yeah, so YouTube ni tuende sasa tuongee.
And then before you started like before you found like your lane even on TikTok, was it hard? Like before you figured out like this is the content that people like?
Up to date, I don't think I have a niche. I post whatever. I feel like whatever comes natural today.
You have such nice engagement by them. I'm like,
Thank
hey, me had have been selling these people a course by now. But I'm like, what?
Thank you. I'm grateful.
Yeah, that's a good nini. So have you thought of different ways or ways maybe you can monetize? from your audience? Not necessarily like asking them for nini, but just something you can package for them.
I have an event coming up. Yeah. I'm not.
I don't say the dates.
I'm not.
Because the episode might not come out when then it is.
Okay, I have an event coming up.
Okay. Can you say what it's about? Or that also is?
Yeah, it's about, we are doing manifestation through journaling. Just mostly, that's the core, but mostly it's just a place for people to come, have fun, talk, womanhood, friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And even just speaking of, like you said, like, your content is based majorly on young girls. I can say that, right?
Yes.
Do you think like on the social
Actually,
media
not
space?
young. I have older women here. It's just nice. I have women across the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think like maybe men's content is, what do you think about like just in general men's content that you see on TikTok? And why would you say like yes to my podcast maybe? See, I'm sure you had to like, let me see Kwanzaa, if this person is like, somebody worth my time. Like, what do you think about men's content in general? And why did you say yes to my podcast? So 2 questions.
Unataka nikupake mafuta?
Hey, listen, I'm just saying.
I can talk about like men's content generally, because there are people I do like their content. There are people I just don't. Maybe they.
Okay, like what guys would you say you've watched their maybe like even if it's 2 years, 3, but even if it's not religiously, but people that you can kind of enjoy their content, guys.
Akina Mwirigi.
Okay.
Funny content, like, and also
so nothing serious. So nothing serious. Just like when you look at men, you just see jokes and funny.
Not really. So ingine nasikianga podcast ingine, especially men podcast, zinakwanga tu address to the men. Sa zingine ukisikia ni kama, hope I won't get backlash for this. Ni kama 3 Men Army. I used to watch them kitambo. I loved their content. They are funny as hell. But ilifika mahali, I was just like, Nani, I acknowledge that maybe I'm just 3 Men Army. Wajue aje?
I don't watch them.
You should go watch them.
Okay, are they interesting?
Yeah, they're very funny.
Okay,
they're very funny.
You have a very unique way of answering questions. You see,
wako sawa, their content.
You'll be a very interesting politician because
no,
I've asked. They're interesting.
Yeah, they're interesting.
They're very funny. Remember the other 2 you mentioned? They're very funny. And I kept on saying, like, so is there any serious content we're talking about, like informative? Because we can joke, but, we can joke and crack about it. But, at the end of it all, we, as men, how I'm thinking about it, like, yes, we can make fun, jokes and everything. But remember, like, how we're supposed to mentor ourselves, like, protectors and providers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So do they talk about like well-being of a man, like just
I like
getting
Jagero. I like Jagero for that.
Jagero. No, hold on. I'll get
Dialogues with Jagero.
He does like the street nini.
No, he's a podcaster.
Oh no, I think I know. Wait, is it the one who did with Kibe?
Has he ever hosted Kibe?
How does he look?
Utamwona. I know you know him.
Dark skin?
Yeah.
Bald?
Yeah.
Yes, he's the one who said like the first girl he lost his virginity to was the wife. He had never slept with somebody else.
I like that man. Even his conversations are really nice.
I think that's the guy, not unless and he has those conversations.
Exactly.
Yeah, asking like, they're more a bit of, doesn't have to be serious, but things about just life.
Yeah. But when men just talk to men, I don't listen to it.
Okay, so wait, so the 3 Men Army, what changed?
There's a time, each time they talked about women, it was derogatory, it was just not nice. And hapo ni kama walinipoteza kidogo. So I don't think I listen to them talk like that. Maybe they are short form content. Perfect. Yeah. Ile tu, you can just acknowledge that I'm not your audience, and that's okay. Yeah.
Okay. It makes sense, Pia. But I was just wondering, because I was just like, if everyone that you're watching is just like men who are comedy, and it's a bit, it's a...
Also, no offense,
it's a wake-up call for also guys to start, like,
Yeah, I think I only do women, especially advices, nini. Yeah, because you can only talk from your lens, and I want to... maybe business. But then, come to think of it, I rarely listen to men.
But because why I'm saying that, it's because like also understand like, I mean, we are supposed to coexist.
Yeah.
That's why like even on my podcast, I will invite both men and women. So you can only imagine if I just brought guys who are coming here like, Maze, women are. And also like another thing, like even my friends, what they've said is they get to know so much about women from my podcast.
That's nice.
Because my friend is always, there's one friend of mine is like, hey, Maze, you guys are not paying attention. Just watch. Have you seen this person this week? Because, I bring different people. One is in banking. One is doing like whatever. OnlyFans. Like so many different women. But if you're a guy and you watch my podcast, if you want to learn about women, watch my podcast. Because you'll have like a buffet of everything.
Me hata nilikujulia from Tesoti and Sarah. Because I love them and I saw them on your channel. So I went on a binge. I watched their videos first. Yeah, it was nice. And Kona, okay. You can hold a conversation. So, okay.
I see. We can do it, guys. We can do it. Right. So what did you think about their videos? Like, maybe Sarah and Tesoti. I'm guessing maybe it's people you followed also like on TikTok. So what did you think about their episodes? Because like on their episodes, it's not like just more opinion based. You really get to know about them now, like so many different things.
Yeah.
What did you think about their episodes? Because I asked you that on WhatsApp and then you just, people who just live in the middle of a conversation talking to yourself. It's like, hey, by there I was watching Nani's content. And then I'm like, oh, so what did you think about it? And then you just go on to a whole, you don't answer. And then it's just like,
I'm sorry.
Oh, so what time are we meeting? I'm like, wait, what?
On it. I'm sorry. Huh? I'm working on it. But what's happening? There's always something to reply to something. Like, it
happens to me as well.
It's a lot.
So what did you think about like just the episodes in general?
Yeah, Sarah anafaa kurudi hapa. Aku exhaust vitu alikuwa anasema vizuri. Anafaa kumsikiza tena.
Okay, like I give her more time to speak or we do another one
just
and
follow
up on another one?
I felt like she had a lot to say.
Oh, and we had clocked 3 hours already. So I was like, those ones like, I can't even push you for more than this. And, I hope like she comes back for part 2.
Yeah, she should. The stories was nice. I got to know her background. Like, follow too, but sijaifuatilia like her backstory. That was nice. I got to see her in a better light. I loved it.
You really get to know more about her. So nice. Okay, so now even just back on content that you view. Now let's talk about maybe women that maybe you used to watch and maybe inspired your journey. Because like I think anyone as a content creator, there are those people that when you're just trying to start, you've always watched their content whether it's from YouTube or back in the day, and they like inspired you in some way.
Everyone knows this. I'm a Murugi fan. Like who's she's mine. Oh my God. Unawachingi akina nani? Hata huo mjui?
The comedian guy, sindio?
No, Murugi Munye.
Oh, now you see. Now
Murugi
you see.
Munye.
Okay, just to be specific. Yeah. Okay, because me, I thought you're talking about Nani again.
Murugi.
Okay, so Nani and Lydia KM, right?
Yeah. I just love her. I feel like she's just...
Everyone is talking about like when we pick the duo, everyone is always saying like Murugi. Why not Lydia?
I also love Lydia.
No. I haven't said you don't love her. But I'm just saying like let's say the past 5 people who've come to the podcast. Because I know if you say Murugi Muni, for me, I think about their podcast, right?
You knew them. You know them as a duo.
Yeah. But now most people, you guys know her as a...
We knew Murugi before. Hata tuliona waki-announce TMI. So we followed Murugi for years.
Before like the podcast. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. We follow from 2020 or 2019. Religiously watching her stories daily.
So is that crazy. Before COVID or just during maybe that?
Before COVID. I think upon the nilimjua. I think she started posting in 2020.
What was her content mostly about?
What drew me to her was number one, consistency. If mambo influencing.
Yeah.
She posts daily. Updates, the way she places her ads. I love it. Also, on top of that, she's just a babe trying to navigate life fully, radiantly. Like she lives unapologetically. I love that.
True.
And also the fact that she balances everything. Like it's not I want money, I don't want men, I don't want a family. Like it's just everything
and being herself.
I love it. Yeah, I genuinely do love her. Yeah.
Wait, is she the one who was fucking someone in the toilet?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I was just no. Wait, why are you looking at me like that? It's
Me
like
hata na
yes.
smile tu namfikiria.
No, you haven't smiled. You are like yes,
No,
and then you're
she's
like,
she's the
say
one,
something.
she's the one.
No, I'm just trying to remember because I remember the story and I want to identify like if it's there. I don't watch her content because it's not relatable to me again.
Okay.
Also, no, I would watch probably Caroline Mutuko.
Mm.
You know, older, mature, I mean, a bit classy.
There's another one I really do love.
Who?
Okay, nimemjua juzi though.
Who?
Dr. Zippy Okoth. I
think,
love her.
I know her maybe from Facebook or...
Yeah, I think anafanga Facebook mostly.
Yeah,
Ndio
yeah.
ameanza kuja huko
Oh,
hivi
yeah,
sasa.
yeah. Oh, so now she's trying the TikTok thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Ameingia TikTok kweli. I think I've just seen her on YouTube, the episodes she's gone in, nini. Yeah, I just love her personality.
What do you like about her?
She's very smart. I love intelligent women. Like,
Yeah.
very bold.
Me, there is nothing I respect and love more like than that. Because you're like, this person, like, you know, you can just imagine if they have a family, they're in good hands. No, that's how I always look at it.
It's okay. Anywho, I think I do have a list of women I do like.
Okay, name them then, maybe.
Lydia Wanjiru, her work ethic. Perfect.
Lydia Wanjiru. I'm sorry, but I'll do my research. Okay. Trust me. You see, the best thing about me is like when you're mentioning someone, trust me, they could be here next week because I'm getting it from you.
Okay.
It's not like just like because, you know.
Okay, wengine wameenda wapi?
Exactly. And there are so many women. And
I have so many women. Like,
tell me.
I think mupata, I don't think I have a role model per se, but I have people that I like certain aspects. I pick and drop, like what I like from you, and take that, and what I like
something
from
else makes sense.
Yeah,
and it also shows like because even like from your TikTok, like you are unique. That's one thing that I can tell. Like how you express your ways, how you express yourself, how you do different random things as well. And I think that's what, like you've said, attracts like a lot of people. Now, when I saw you posting something to do with moving out, was that a TBT or that was recent?
But that was a TBT. I'm 4 months in.
Oh, it's 4 months in?
Yeah, I'm 4 months in.
Wait, so what was the living situation before you moved out? Were you staying with the family?
Parents, yeah.
Oh, you have siblings?
Yeah, I have one.
Brother or sister?
Sister. I'm the eldest. Yeah. Like
she young or?
No, she's 18 now.
What? Okay, so now, especially considering you have a young sister, like do you feel like you have to go out of your way to protect her because like of the things that you also like see online?
When she was younger, yes. Up on my high school, I had to fight my friends, block people. Because in my head, I'm just like, what is a 26-year-old doing in my sister's day? Like, are you? But then I fought. And in my head, I'm just like, and it's because I also had access to her everything, her passwords, so kila kitu alikuwa anadu nilikuwa naona, not in the Snoopy kind of way, but. And I'm just like, when she was younger, it was a bit of a struggle. But right now, I feel like she's still young. Sa zingine, musuteme kwa njano na kikatiwa, niko like, okay, Hilda, relax.
Relax yourself.
She's now,
She's that age I was literally talking about. Like, you see, that's why even for you, as much as, she's an adult, because I still need to protect her kidogo.
Yeah. I think it's the way pia my mom raised us. She was very strict when we were growing up, but the more unaendelea ku advance in age, the more alikuwa anachilia kalish. Like we were not overprotected.
Your mom was stricter than your dad?
Yeah. Dad asked me, babangu hata jai nishika, hata jai nishautia, hata jai nipiga.
Daddy's girl. I'm like, achana na yeye.
Mwanangu akijaribu kunishautia, niko like, hata kwetu sishauti wangu tafadhali. Anywho, so kuna kako kuachilia tu kalish. Like I still protect her, but I feel like some things she has to learn for herself, and not men-wise. It does not apply to men.
Listen, she has that idea. Yes or no?
She does, sikatai.
Legally she can get married now.
True.
Remember me asking about age of consent? So she can get married right now.
Sikatai.
Yeah.
Sikatai.
So,
but
she can vote.
Yeah.
She can vie for almost like a political position. She can join the army. You can join the
but
army.
that's still my baby. That's still our baby.
Oh, so now when it's your sister, it's like, yo, that's a baby. That's a...
No, she can date. She's allowed to date. She can
Oh, you
have
said
a
men.
boyfriend.
Oh,
No, I'm
okay,
not.
what about... Okay, what
Apoko
about...
learn her own mistakes by men. She can to some extent. Zingine hata kuna mtu mwingine anaweza niambia yeye naona nani, and I can tell. But I can't be there to just, Sengine unamwacha tu. Like we can have conversations. I'd like to know who she's dating. Ameenda date wapi? Nini. I need to know the nitty-gritties. But
you have those conversations though.
Yeah. Si tulianza kuongelea hizi vitu kitambo.
That's why you are over snooping in her knees and getting angry because she was telling you. She's like, yo, see, I just told you that yesterday. Saizi uko already, you're blocking everyone from talking to me.
Hiyo na lazima nikasirike. Unafanya nini na mtoto mdogo hivyo?
Okay, wait. This is when she was 18 or less.
In high school.
So 16.
Hey, that's mad.
No, but I'm just trying to paint a picture to understand like how people are moving out here.
It's crazy.
So that you understand when I'm talking about like if somebody doesn't have the right guidance, just the right guidance like this, it's unfortunate because, it just might not end well or they'll just find themselves in very tricky situations.
True. Randa Musema, I feel like even as women, of course I can only talk. As women, we need to have a community of like some sisterhood to some extent. Randa Musema, hata kama ni firstborn, take another firstborn under your wing. Kiasi, kuna conversations zingine, especially hata sexual conversations that a babe can only have with another babe. In fact, I encourage, not after every experience, but mostly, hata ukianza izima ages 19, 20, 21, talk to people about what you're experiencing. Like, sexual-wise.
People your own sex or opposite?
No. Your friend. A friend. Another first, like someone.
A girl to girl.
Yeah, girl to girl. Kuna a lot of nonsense women endure that we can just get rid of if we just have a conversation. Niambie nikwambie, hey, that's not normal. But this is normal. Huwezi jua hapo ndo umeshinda noche. Like, so talk about it. Like, let's talk and jaribu kucover. Let's try covering each other. I don't know. Yeah, cast sisterhood.
I can't, like, wait, how close were you with your dad? And like, was he like protectively, even if he's not strict, he's advising you ama nini?
No, I think my dad wale tu waliingia into parenthood wakijua wamekuja kuprovide.
So him as musikufe njaa. There's nobody starving in this house.
Kwa hello daddy.
Oh, I want this.
Ati you want? Hello daddy imetosha. Ukikata tu hivi simu. Ting ting.
Ting ting.
Alikuja in that, So Providence, I think we were covered, but easy relationships. When I was younger, I remember we were very tight. I think ilifika hapa mahali akachanganyikiwa, unajua.
You're growing up.
So right now, atuko pabaya. Mi force. Musema kanda force na manaume, na force na babangu.
That's a very good thing. Because I think even like on my podcast, I've said it enough time. Because I've seen it. And I'm even scared of like, if I have a daughter, how I have to play like a really important role. Because I've seen how it affects like when daughters are disappointed with their dad or they're not getting along with their dad. Everything is always like extreme on the other side. And it's very unfortunate because now it's those ones of like, hey, man, if a dad just did this to yana kidogo hapa, the daughter would have been like a whole different person. But now just because of like the moves, and you can hear like even from previous guests, even like the two guests that you mentioned, if you had like just like dad situations from both, completely different story. Even the girl that I posted like, just recently as well, like Njeri, a girl who like the stepmom now hired guys to kill her dad. Crazy. So I understand like the role because like to her now she was being brought up by a single dad. She was daddy's girl. Like they were saying like, oh, anything, nini. And then the mom did that. And then the dad was gone just like that. Mm-hmm. And her life changed from when she was 16. Now everything. She's like 21, turning 22 this year. But she tells you about her life between 16, 22, or to 21. Like I'm just like, hey.
I have a theory that will sound wrong though.
Okay, let's hear it.
But I feel like at the height of everything, if tumekuja kuona women suffer more, atusemi men don't, but women suffer more, I feel like at this point we can take back our power. In terms of ata childbearing, be selfish with it. Like angalia mtu, not even for you, even for your kid. Juu tushaona hata venye the father relationship affects us babes. Be selfish with it. Choose a nice partner for your kids. Hata saa zingine things can happen na ujipate peke yako. Again, look for a good community for your kids. Hata kama ni someone, a father figure. Like I feel like the power is mostly in our hands because tushaona venye most men are talking. Like at this point,
So,
if no one is going to help us, we might as well.
by you saying that, all these single mothers that are popping up every other time, and then they had a choice to pick the right partner. I'm just going by your words. By the, I'm not.
I know, but
I'm
I just
not.
don't like
I'm
it
not
when
trying
men
to
say
twist.
it. I don't know.
No.
I don't like it. Say nasikia kama nakuelewa.
Because wait, there's something wrong here. Why am I agreeing with this statement?
Yeah, why are you agree? Have I said something stupid? Maybe
No.
Uh-huh.
No, but I'm just saying that's how important it is. Like just that difference of. Remember, it still goes back to the bad boy thing I was talking about. You know how many single moms are popping up every single couple of months. Like even I remember, when was it? The trend for not the bar was solo. The other one for where people are posting the kid and then they post the dad.
Useless things I got my child.
Yes. And then you just look at a baby daddy that has been posted. And then I'm like, you know what?
We need to be selfish.
Yeah, I'm just like, it makes no sense.
I made a video that I had to pull down. And I said, from each trend, useless things, and from the bows to low, I feel like most of our problems, again, I'm talking about us. Please do not agree with me. But
I'm quiet by the...
I feel like most of our problems can be solved if we just be in control of who you sleep with, quote unquote. Like saa zingine naonanga ni kama, because half the time hata ukikuwa na mtu mwenye ako tu hivyo, huwezi niambia, mi usema you can't tell me someone was nice, thoughtful, caring, and leo ameamka tu amesema
impossible.
There was always science before. Like there was always musema hata most of the kids hapa ma 19 20 21 most like naonanga hiyo ndio age bracket enye most women fall into a cycle enye tu at the core of it all ni sexual relations. Like you're just there with that man. The only thing he's giving you
sex.
Full stop. So I'm just trying to say we should be very selfish. Be very selfish.
Just say what you want to say.
Yeah, like at the core of it all. Half the time after this cheating niggas ama these men who are bottom of the barrel, mostly kitu wanakwanga wameenda kutafuta tu ni sex. Ukielewa uongo.
Yeah.
So God, that I don't kulikuwa na argument here, there are women who just love having sex and that's okay.
So and use protection.
Also look at the quality of people. Look at the quality of person you're. Hata kama ni casual sex. If anything happens, is it someone you can have a conversation with? Is it someone you can... I don't know. I just feel like at this point, we need to be very selfish.
No, I think your parents did a really good job raising you. So unfortunately, other people, it's not the same case. So you see the way, like even to you, it makes no sense because... And not in a bad way. It's just because it seems it's frustrating even you saying because you're thinking of like the situations and the stories you could hear. But you're like, why? How? But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, when I'm talking about like how online influence is also like just strong. A lot of people, like even in the next, like let's say like just another 10 years, there'll be so many different and bad decisions that will be made by young women. But simply because there's somebody they were following said this, and that person is not doing that, or they are not about that life. And at times you'll even hear like, you know, people being asked, do you think you have a social responsibility to, when you're posting and saying something like this to people who follow you, like maybe young girls who are listening to you. Then somebody just say like, that's not my nini. And when they say that, I'm trying to understand. It's like,
nipatie example.
Yeah.
Mtu kwa internet when una feel.
Alisema something.
Yeah.
Like if somebody is fucking in the toilet and it seemed exciting them, then another young girl would think if she was at that age, she can do that too.
No, I think ukifuata uni murugi.
Hey, listen, you've said her name, I haven't said her name.
Hakuna mtu mwingine amesema story kayo.
People get fucked in the toilet all the time.
I think the argument
maybe I can stand out because she has a podcast.
Because it's her.
But I'm just saying, and I'll let you respond. I'm just saying, I wouldn't expect somebody who's already, I know it's you being yourself, and that's how people are looking at you, but we didn't need to know that. If you have a husband, he didn't need to hear that. That's all I'm saying. Would you say that it happened? Or would you keep it under the wraps?
It depends. I
agree. I 100% doubt you would say that.
No.
And that's you being a politician again.
So what animalism?
Okay, sir.
I feel like it depends on the context. I feel if vitu kama hizo kusema out loud ni again what happened it was frowned upon. It was just like, as you said, si kitu
you have a husband who provides.
Karibu niseme so, but nikakumbuka he provides a lot. That's okay. It's
exactly.
But
not many. No. Okay.
Argument ni from where Murugi stands from.
Yeah.
Where she balances, where she comes in the social media space, she was just trying. I feel like everyone has a story. It might not be as bad or might not be the same nini, but kila mtu kuna mali. Kuna kitu moja ufala ushaifanya.
Yeah. And even there's some guy, and I'll let you continue. Remember, I just interrupt because at times I forget if I nini. You've said like even me kuna kitu nini. So just to say like, yeah, there's some girls right now, if they say they slept with them, I'll say deny. And I'll tell the cops kwanza, defamation by the way. Because like how? No way. Impossible. She's lying.
You see?
I have to deny. Okay, so I'll go on with what you're saying.
That to say, I feel like penye alikuwa amesimamia ilikuwa just to bring relatability to some sort. Like, unajua saa zingine akiongea hivyo sana, anakaga ni kama anaongea from like a high horse. Unajua kuna kwanga na, ndakwambiaje? We've all gone through some shit. Like, I don't know. She was just, hata mimi nilisikia niko like, but, and then
if there was like, that's what I'm saying. I'm just, those ones of like, we also still have a social response. I'm just saying like, we hold women to slightly higher standards than men. In general.
No wonder I have a problem with the word role model. Hata mtu akinita role model, spendi kuitwa role model.
But you are, whether you like it or not. You don't get to choose now after you've already built and you've said you have like young girls who are between and they follow you and they tell you like maybe this. And I'm sure they even ask you like, how can I just be like you? I would want to be like, they say these things. So you don't get to say, because otherwise you'll be those ninis I'm talking about. Those people who say, I don't have a social responsibility because why are you looking at me as a role model? You're there already. Too bad. You're there already. Unfortunately. If I have a young sis and she tells me like, oh, by the way, like, so-and-so and this, I follow her and nini. And then I come to you and you say, hey, me, I don't have, whatever the kids do, let them, I'll be like, no, she genuinely loves you probably.
But she didn't tell anyone to
and let me tell you something. No, I'm not saying I'm just saying like, right now there are people who follow you. And like there's that period where like young girls, like even they're not listening to the parents because the parents can't relate to like what they're going through. You know who replaces those parents at that moment? It's these social media influencers. Because they listen and look at you daily. Where you thrift your clothes, how you're dealing with like your own personal life, pressure. When you just say like you've moved out, let's say like you're moving out video. Let's see what young girls are saying probably. Right?
Haukuacha nimalize
Oh, no, finish. I'm looking. Sorry. I do that. See, we watch my episodes. I do that. Guys, I'm sorry. It's just like, that's just how I do my podcast. Go on, please. I'm listening.
The one bit about being a role model.
Yeah.
It's because I feel like people just give you a certain standard that you have to live by, which is kidogo problematic. There's someone, kila mtu anakuwa na shortcomings zake. You can't be 100%. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
Kabisa. No wonder, even in the spirit of why I still stand by this babe, it's because, again, you pick and drop what to choose, what to pick from her. Si kila kitu anasema itakuwa, wow, yeah. But you just pick and drop. I don't know. Hata busema, if someone considers me a role model, kunafaa kuwa nako ka grace ka I'm still human. I can fuck up at any point.
Yeah, but still. You have a social
I know
responsibility.
I have a social responsibility.
When you're moving out video, first comment that has 273 likes, right? Why am I coming across this after thinking about moving out the whole week? You understand the role I'm saying that, you know, it's not that why would you think of the same? No. If somebody is following you, you're also inspiring them. They're like, oh, Nani has been able to do this. You tell them details about, like, you know, you pick something that you're buying. Somebody will be like, where did you buy something?
Yeah,
it's there. Like, literally, that's what I'm talking about. Like, to me, it shocks me when people think, like, they don't understand how important people follow them and take the things that they do seriously. Like, literally, you would change your hair. Somebody will go and change their hair. Like, girls with influence is crazy. Even hair, you'll just see, like, you do your brows. It's like, where did you go and do your brows? I want to go there.
It's positive.
Where did you buy your nini? But that's what I'm saying. So understand, even the negative, it's the same way they're going to pick. Okay. So whether you like to say that, you know, I don't have that nini, the standard has been put there. So it's like you, tomorrow you show up with like some boyfriend who looks crazy and nini, and maybe like is beating you up here and there. And all your videos, you've been saying like, yo, girls, you need to love yourself. In this podcast, you've been saying like, yo, girls, you need to be like, unajua, be a bit selfish.
I stand by it.
And then we see the baby daddy here. Hey.
Can never. I know never.
No, I'm
never
just
say
saying,
never, but can
but
never.
I'm just saying, you understand how it will be so confusing, because I don't know like what happened recently. Because like there's some things that just happen and people are confused. They're like, hey, but we thought, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's once people start following you, you kind of mentor them. So that's why I've said, like, even, you know, for people who follow me, maybe some girl shows up and says like, yo, by there, no. I was like, yo, first of all, restraining order, report for defamation, and everything else that comes with it. Like, why? Why are you telling people? People don't need to know that's in the past. You shouldn't talk about that. But I'm just saying, because it's unfortunate, but it's okay. When you put yourself in social media, understand you're amassing a following. Yeah. Why would you be able to sell them?
But offer grace, though.
No, I understand. But listen, why would you be able to offer them, like, let's say, a course on teaching them something? But then again, they can't look at you like as a role model. Yet you've amassed these people like you have over 100K, right?
Yeah.
So you can package something for over 100K. But hey, don't look at me as hey, role model, upon it's too much pressure. It's too late.
But it is too much pressure.
I know, but I know. Okay, if you turn into a politician, you know why girls were angry at Pasaris?
Yeah.
Because you thought, this is our person. She's supposed to understand what we're going through, right?
I get that.
So you feel betrayed because, and let's not forget, she's been there for how many terms? 3 terms.
Crazy. Okay, but
3.
I understand what you're saying, but let's offer grace to some extent.
Let's offer grace. Okay, let's offer grace to Pasaris.
She's had 3 terms.
Oh.
No, she's had 3 terms.
Are you a religious person?
No.
Oh, okay. I was about to say like forgive and forget, but clearly you're just like, no. It's Amma, you knew what I was going to say next. No. Okay, like I know. But I'm just saying, you see why the same way somebody else would be like, no. Because like I was expecting, like, you know, it's unfortunate, but like I'm just saying, think about like maybe, okay, let's pick like who. some of the women that I always carol on to will always be high on the list because she has no choice but just to be perfect.
I don't want to be held
Almost.
perfect.
No, but I'm just saying it's like even think about her, like you have no choice. Can you imagine she said like, 8 years ago someone was doing sijui. She can't. She probably has personal stories, but would it be safe to share? No, because like you have a bigger responsibility in your hands. And also like another thing, I've said it
but
before.
But unafaa kuangalia ni content yenye msupa you do.
Nani?
Murugi.
Yeah.
It aligned with her content.
No, but I'm just saying like the position where you're in right now. That's why I say like, you have a hubby as well. Who's there like even with social media wrangles here and there. It's not easy even having a relationship right now. So people be clowning. I'll tell you how guys talk. Okay, probably in like, let's pick a podcast that might talk about something like that. Women army. Be like, yo, you're whining and dining a girl who somebody else was smashing in there.
They'd actually say that.
My point exactly. So remember, it's not even about her, about like now, the guy who's just minding his business. And I'm just saying, like, I think social responsibility falls in like a wider category. Like our fans will be like, yeah, maybe it's relatable to others and everything. But what about the guy?
What about the guy?
We've just said 3-man army saying like, yo.
And that's their thing. That's okay.
But also understand they have like, it's like when you post, are you in a relationship right now?
You guys care way too much about what
if somebody has smashed my girl.
That was Kitambo, forget. That was it's yours now.
No, listen, understand. I'm just saying, as a guy, if you're protecting and providing, and you're supposed to hold your woman like on that pedestal, right? I'm taking you for trips. I'm making sure the family is good and everything. And I have a picture of somebody smashing you in the toilet. I don't know how girls operate, but men, that will affect us. So I'm just saying it's also just be considerate. It might be all good for like, people who are enjoying the content, but I think personally for me or any other, a majority of the guys, they would take it like, it's not just something that you're like, I know my day, he just smashed a few times in the bathroom. No, it's okay, my day. She's with me now. No guy talks like that.
Okay,
yeah.
I can't relate.
In fact, even if you went to a men's conference where people are roasting each other, you wake up, you're trying to say something serious. If somebody doesn't like you, how politicians talk, right? So you've had like their back and forth. How can she talk? How can he talk in front of us when your wife was in the toilet? You're about to be a politician. That dirty game is going to come on your lap like this.
I know, but most of them you cannot shame me for something I did in the past. It's okay.
Somebody ever smashed you in the toilet?
No.
Okay, good. That's the answer I expect.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Now, ask me if I've done that with someone in the toilet.
Have you?
No.
Okay.
And that's the answer that should be. That's the answer that should be.
Okay, maybe.
I whine and dine people and respect them.
Okay.
And, and I wait for the 90-day rule.
Do you? Then
yes.
Do you?
Yes. That's the answer. That's the correct answer.
Okay, I see.
No, but I'm just saying, there are kids looking up to us right now. It's not like, I'm just saying, like, even if you're to do it, like, just package it in a tasteful way, considering, like, the people who are younger that you influence. That's all.
Maybe ilitoka tu. But this zingine unajua kwa podcast na uongee tu, like unaongea tu. It's okay. It's fine. It passed. We still love you.
Of course.
Yeah.
No hate. We just it's just an open conversation.
Yeah.
And remember, you also asked me, like, just pick a name. So that's the only name.
Okay.
The craziest, wildest, like I would say recent that I can remember is that. But, there's so many other people with, like, incidents that, but we're talking about, like, people who are currently influencing and people, like, already consider them on top of the chain of influencer.
Okay.
Okay, now, another thing is, see.
Unpatia views.
Oh, because it's replaying. So I'm always talking about like just also health, wealth, love, and happiness, right? But even when we're talking about like things like health, about things like mental well-being, because I've talked about like just mental health and how people depression. It's consistent. I've seen like a lot of people coming to my podcast and they've said some of them, in fact, like a big majority, it's because of things they see online or things that people have said to them online. And also, like, in some of your videos, like there's some videos that people just post like nasty comments.
Yeah.
And I think even when I was just doing my research, I'm just seeing like a couple of them, like, people who are like attacking you like with your body and stuff. But I still see you like, the next day you're popping out like with another video, you have a smile on your face and all those things. But how do you handle such things considering like other people like just crash out? You've seen crash outs on like TikTok.
Yeah.
People like lashing out at their fans, insulting like one by one, like going like, and you.
I can't.
So how do you just get to that like mental space where you stay healthy, ignore like mean comments, somebody trying to body shame you and stuff, but how do you deal with that? Because considering girls are very sensitive to some certain things. I've seen like, girls who like, even if they post a video or picture, it doesn't get enough likes, they delete. Because it's already fucking up with their head. So how do you say stay strong and just deal with such things online?
My content creation journey has been, I started out, I do this thing where every year I post with a different personality, kind of, like a different niche or genre of things I talk about. So the last time I was on TikTok, I was talking about, I was a sex therapist.
Okay.
And at the time, I used to get like questions, answer,
like, people send answers, you respond.
And I respond like things to do, what to do, like, yeah. And at the time, I faced a lot of backlash. And it was mostly from men. That was
of Jezebel.
It was a lot. And I remember I just discontinued that account. Like, niliacha kabisa.
A whole account.
Hata sidhani say kuna evidence ya videos that time I discontinued, like niliacha tu. And then now I came back sasa as Online Bestie now.
Wait, like you are off the platform completely?
Delete. So that TikTok account.
What?
Yeah. Anywho, at that time nilikuwa nasoma comments niko like like kuna venye zilikuwa zinani. Anywho, nikasema si a must. I'm creative. You can come back again. So when I started Online Bestie, my main point was to get to plus size girlies, confidence, blah, blah, blah. And we know the quote unquote like societal beauty standards. And I'm fully aware of it, but I don't think I cared enough. I genuinely don't think. Plus, half of the comments is my body. There's nothing new anyone is telling me. Like, there was a time a brand posted me. I didn't know about the video. Nilikuja kuiona a week later.
With or without your permission?
With my permission. It was branded content. Sikuiona.
Oh, okay.
Say ilipostiwa. I saw it a week later. It had like 300 comments. Zote zilikuwa mbaya. Umsichana. And I remember that day I cried. It was the first time I had seen a lot of comments like that.
Mean comments back to back.
Unajua kwa page yangu zinaingia one by one. I can deal with one by one.
And you can delete, you block who you need.
I can deal with one by one. But sasa 300 comments at once. I cried that day. And next morning, I woke up. My quality of life was still the same. It was branded content, so I had money in my...
Been paid already.
The only difference was I had puffy eyes. Majo saa zilikuwa zimefura juu nimelia usiku mzima. And I had a shoot hiyo siku, which was even worse. So nikajiuliza surely mtu tu kwa kiti. Maybe hata alicomment na akaenda. But
minding their own business. Wame consult, they're gone.
Hata ikumbuki. And now I'm here struggling with puffy eyes. I was just like, I don't know. It just... Plus, ukisha click window one, I realized half the time it has nothing to do with me. Juu unajua, for example, I think the last time I was properly trolled, ni video nilipost na like a red dress. And people
that video got lots of views, isn't it?
Yeah. And under that video, there were different type of comments. There were people who are just mean, plain mean.
Yeah.
Ano watu hata wananga vitu kwa profile zao ni pseudo like
It
wako
had
tu.
3.6 million views.
Yeah, and it hit 1 million views.
10,000 comments.
Yes. Ilifika 1.5 million in like 5 hours. Nikasema
5 hours.
Nikaja hapa nikubaya. No, in Kenyan.
Oh, you're like, hey, hapa.
Nikajua.
And then I'm seeing likes, 253k likes.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Sheesh.
Anywho.
Okay, so
there were mean people. People watu tu wanataka tu kuja kuweka joke hapo yenye si funny.
Yeah.
And there were people who are just genuinely concerned. Yeah. Hey babe, vaa tu kitu you know, wear a flared dress, wear a nini. And to that, I do acknowledge the fact that tushafundishwa ile some super kona mwili acceptable ndio anavaa. Alafu ile saa uko na tumbo ama uko na nini lazima ujieke mafiri. Sasa uvae madress zinakufunika. And I do acknowledge that because that's how we were raised. Hata nilirudi home na the same dress and my mom was like, hey, next time vaa zile zenye zinaendanga hivi.
Oh, your mom told you that?
My mom told me that. So in that I
you block her as well. You're like, ati umesema nini?
Unajua manga kienge hivyo ni juu. Pia asikiangi poa. My mom follows me. She comments on my videos.
So she sees.
Aski poa.
And a parent kwanza, I'm thinking hakuwa time ya bullying za online. So ako like, how all these things they're saying about my daughter.
Aski poa, so I can get where it's coming from.
Okay.
What was I saying? To those people, I acknowledge, but I'm here to challenge. Like kuna venye tushazoeshwa hata the like babes my size, plus size babes, kujifinya, kujifunga, you know, usionekane uko na tumbo.
Corsets.
Ujifika. But those things are painful. Hata niliona mtu akicomment akisema ati va hizo mabody shape and these things are painful. No one can tell me otherwise. Anywho, like just I'm here to challenge. You know, we can show up in different forms. We can show up wearing whatever the fuck you want, as long as you feel comfortable in it. Me bedesi shtuki. I'm here for the long run.
Now I want to ask you, have you always been plus size since a kid?
Yeah.
Ama there's a point like maybe you're different body sizes. So ama you just always been like this?
I think mimi nimekuwa plus size. Mimi nilikuwa lola to chubby
cheeks nini. So that's just you.
That's just me. And I didn't realize, okay, kuna venye up until 2020 venye everyone and their mother was working out.
That's during COVID. Even me I started working out during COVID.
Kuna time to after lockdown. We were outside in the morning. Anywho, during that time I worked out and I lost like a huge chunk of weight. What? Hey, that was like the hey. Now I don't know how to say this. It felt like I was invisible, and now all of a sudden people can see me now.
Or like people are like, hey.
Like why? Alafu ulikuwa na zile comments. Kitambo ulikuwa na kaa vibaya. Like, it's just mad. Like, I don't know. I think ndo ilini hit like how different people get treated because
of just the beauty standards.
It was just, but it was crazy. Hata nakumbuka hiyo time nilikuwa hata more confused. Unaona COVID pia ilikuja na stress yake.
COVID changed so many people in different ways.
I don't know. It was just a very weird phase in my life.
Yeah.
Anywho, all that to say, I don't know. This is just where me at your time watu wakifikiria niko invisible. Me I thought I was hot as hell.
No, so during that COVID time, did you feel better exercising or doing all those things? I want to show you where my conversation will go.
Okay. I live a very active lifestyle. Like I train dance.
Yeah.
So I'm always moving my body daily.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the gym at the time. But kuna venye discipline yake ilinishinda kiasi. I might be back in the gym, but niliona walking and dancing is my way to just make sure I move
being
my body
active,
daily.
yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
It's because now the conversation is like how, Lizzo, how she used to go through it like so much like online. And like, even for her time, like now after she posted like before, there's a time she posted like a before and after. And then she was saying something about like her before. And, it's just, she was talking about like how she feels different now. And now she understands what people were saying back then. But she was talking about what? She was saying like, anybody, it's just personal choice.
Yeah.
But she was also saying like about healthier reasons of like, as you grow older, your metabolism starts slowing down. So taking care of yourself when you're young, it's better for long term, because we all know like just unfortunately, things like diabetes, high cholesterol, all those things, how they affect people when they get to a certain age. If you've had like, like a grandpa or somebody who's old, who's always consistently like in Hosi, blood pressure, such things. So all those things, because like for my case, I do jog or walk every single day. I cook my own meals. I have a few cheat days here and there. Smoothies on deck. Like if you're just to open my fridge like this, if you're not an exercise person, you'll be disgusted if it's not one of those ninis. But I still have like, my meats and everything. But I realized how my body started feeling when I exercise and I eat right, and just like projection. Because, I'm in my 30s. And I think a lot of people think I'm way younger, but it's because of what I eat, how I exercise. Of course, pia swag kidogo. Yeah. Waka, you're rolling your eyes. So now you can't just say like, oh yeah, you can't even just say like, by the way, you can't even gas me up, yani. Who's rolling their eyes, nikijikom? You've talked about self-love. Mimi nikisema juu self, sorry, this nigga, she's so...
I
can see the struggle. You're like, do I have to do this? But I'm just saying, like, it, and also like now even how my clothes fit differently. But yeah, I was so much more skinnier. Because I was broke, I didn't afford like, I had to pack in a little bit of nini, but it feels different mentally, physically, but also like just health-wise. We're looking at long-term. Yeah. We're not looking about like trends or like what people are saying. It's just like about long-term and how it can affect like you in person. But one thing, like even what I've noticed like about like your videos, like you're a very positive driven person.
Yeah.
Very positive driven. That's what I'm saying. Like it makes so much sense how both parents can just play a role just to make like a kid be strong mentally.
My childhood is not that rosy by there.
Really?
Anywho, come back.
Okay, so anyway,
no.
Fuck this health shit that I'm talking about.
No,
so wait,
let's talk about
this. Wait, okay, but even if you can give us just slightly, what do you mean by that? But there's a way where there's that mental strength. I don't understand. It comes from somewhere. But unless you're cornered and then you're just like, you had to force yourself to be.
Yeah, my self-concept is crazy. I decide who I am and who I want to be. Like, I don't know.
So what do you mean by childhood not being smooth?
If
you can just share a bit, though.
Just
No. It's just because now people will be like, won't interrupt kila saa, and then sazile anafa kusema kitu. You're not following up.
But I want to talk about the health shit, though. Okay, let me finish this first.
Okay, we'll go back to the health, Nini. But I'm just talking about like my personal experience. Like even there's a time I had to go to hospital, and I was getting like just bad, like what would you call it? Bad constipation, stomach upsets, and all those, like consistently. And I remember like even going to Hosi, and then I was just being asked like, Connie, how do you eat? Just eating takeout. These places they're using like whatever cooking oils they're using, like just, I don't like cooking, But now after I changed like that lifestyle, because it started now during COVID, because everyone was locked in Sasa.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, so now how do I improve my life? What new skills? What nini? So exercising, cooking healthy meals. And it's just, even how I'm thinking is completely different. Just because of exercise and food. And definitely esteem, different level.
Yeah, I understand that. But what I do on my page, I feel like saa zingine nikiongelea hivyo nasikanga ni kama watu feel ni kama I'm encouraging people to just be plus size or just be bigger.
You're not plus size, by the way.
Over time, I have lost. I think over time, I just keep...
You are bigger?
Yeah. Over time, I just keep losing weight. I don't know.
Mm.
And it's because what I'm trying to
Are
push...
you trying to?
What I'm trying to push...
Sorry. My apologies.
Is I feel like most women, especially... Okay, muongelelea because that's where I'm at. Age 19 to 25. It's because most of the things are usually determined from our bodies. Takwambiaje. It's you want to get your dream body, ndio sijui watu wasikuongelele. You want to get your dream body, ndio sijui nani akutake. You want to get your new body, a good body, ndio sijui watu wasisi. Like there's always some all around, which is not bad, but my main point ni at every version of you that you're in, every version deserves love. And if you decide to work on yourself, namusema, you can still be plus size and you're eating nice. Kuna watu wengine genetics si mambo yako. Bebe kila kitu si ati nini.
What no, but go on. I don't want to interrupt. Like when you're not very already on your flow.
Every version of you deserves love. Every single version of you. Every part of your body deserves love. Sometimes na feeling ni kama watu kwa in a corner just cause maybe genuinely you're not acting in accordance. You're not acting right.
Yeah.
Design unajua hata wewe mwenyewe unajua maybe you're eating in excess ama you're not eating the right thing. No wonder you're still in a corner ka meaning hata skinny. By the skinny shaming is very real.
I was skinny me by the I was just being told all the time. Mpaka chicks were like, "Ai wewe sasa." Sasa hata unanisumbua yani. I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
If you look at yourself in the mirror and you genuinely think, I should change this, I should work on this, work on it, but from a place of love. Jubede unaweza ibadilisha and you still don't like yourself. For example, if you maybe ate just because the babes said you need to eat, unaweza kuwa unakaa vizuri hivi na maybe hata umsupa bado tu akutaki. Then you'll still be miserable. Like,
no. I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about, should I respond with my realistic results?
Okay.
I could fit better clothes. Like, made more sense with the clothes that I liked to wear. Of course, my performance in the bedroom improved. And just personally, just my mind, I feel way better about myself.
That's the thing, because you decided to.
Yeah.
Correct? It was a personal choice.
But even the babes, or even just guys telling you, like, you're too skinny. But I'm talking about in the fact that, what Lizzo was talking about. Like, she said, like, she finally understands. Because she said if she went ahead being on that path, and let's not forget how Lizzo was pushing that agenda. And then now she burnt the picture of her old self. And then I'm like, so you drive people and tell them to love themselves and everything. And then now you change and then you burn the old photo of you. So where do you leave the fans who actually came there? Because she was also doing content for plus size girlies. So I'm like, so now have you abandoned all of them? Because now we're seeing her eating salads. We're seeing her work out consistently. And then now her fashion has changed like crazily. But when she's having conversations now with like, I don't know if you know this, like streamer called Kai Senat. He's like a really big right now in the streaming community. But they were just doing like a streaming session. And then we're just talking about like food, health, and exercise. And she was just talking about, like, you could see like how her spirit is so different. But I'm just trying to think about like the girls she was pushing that to. And now she's already left them, jumped ship to a whole different nini. Because now and even brands or partnerships she's getting now, no longer plus size. Going to the healthier side, wearing designer clothes and all the other things and stuff. But I'm saying it makes so much sense because you see long term what it means. Because for sure, her like blood, imagine like she has nice songs. She's supposed to be on stage performing and everything. At some point, she would have collapsed and passed. We've had like musicians, like even like a guy called Fatman Scoop. Fatman Scoop is he used to be like an MC, like back in either 2000s, early. Really popular though. But, that was his name. And just from his name, you can tell he was big. He did pass out on stage and die. Now, there's another guy who's called Big Boy Radio Weight Loss. Big Boy.
Tukisema hivi, the love yourself agenda also entails loving yourself enough to eat right, move your body. Mi kitu yangu inakuanga, hata when I see a big babe mwenye ame lose weight, now she's skinny, and I see them trash talking now, the fat version of them, kuna venye it doesn't.
If I play, I don't know if I'll get a copyright strike. Let me try and see. But so he used to be this big, and then Will Smith came to do his interview. And then he was like, not like the show is talking, and then he asked him like, okay, so where are you? How do you feel about your weight and stuff? He was just, you see how big he was? Said like how comfortable he was and everything. And then Will Smith told him like, okay, I want us to make a bet maybe they made a bet for like, I think, and this is 25 years ago, because he's saying he wouldn't be alive now if Will Smith, because everybody around him didn't want to have that conversation. But Will Smith, during the show, he just told him like, hey, by the way, we are friends and everything. I'm also concerned a bit about your health. So first off, I want to make like a challenge. I think he said like, after, if he can lose a certain amount of weight in 2 months, going to get like $30,000, or is it like 40,000? I don't know, between 40, 10,000 there. And then the guy was like, what? I mean, if I lose, you're going to give me, then it was like up for the challenge. So for him, he was doing it to get the money. So he met the target. And then after he met the target, Will Smith came back and then just asked him like, yo, what do you feel right now? The guy said like, I think you've literally saved my life, because now the lifestyle that I've incorporated in what I'm doing has changed everything around me. And then they did an interview. This is 25 years later. And he was telling Will Smith, I wouldn't be here if you didn't do that during that particular show, because most of the other friends or people he knew who are like that weight, they're all dead.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not just about, it's just like think about long term.
Okay. I hear you.
Oh, but this is about him. I'm not talking about, I'm just putting like context to like other situations and people.
Yeah. I don't know. Wherever you are, if there's something wrong, saa zingine hata una feeling in your movement, you can tell. I'm breathing heavier. My body is, you can tell. You know. Musema, I love yourself enough to do what's right for you. For you. Yeah. External factors aside. Of course, good things come out of it. Sawa? But at the core of it all, are you okay? Are you happy? But then unajua kuna kwanga na hata transit period ya when you're trying to lose weight. Kuna kwanga na, I feel like most people shame themselves into getting skinnier. Inakwanga deprivation. Unapiga, like, I don't know. I feel like, to me, where I stand and from what I've seen, even from experience, inakwanga counterproductive. You finally lose the weight, fine, sawa, and now you've started eating again. Not even overeating. Now you're eating normally. Sawa, you're talking from the extreme of kujinyima, and now you're eating normally, and now you've started gaining back some to meat. Sawa. And there's always, acha nikupatie example ya nani? Ya Rono.
Yeah.
Sawa? You work out, lose the weight. Life happens, start gaining it back. You go back and you lose. No.
Life happens, ama you go back to old habits.
there's always a trigger. There's always a reason why you do what you do. There's always a reason why you do what you do.
So bad habits though.
Hata kama reason ni ati you're not disciplined ama you're lazy ama you're just there's always a reason. All that to say at every vitu zufanyika.
Like what things? Breakups ama stress ama stress eating.
Like there's always something. Hakuna mwili ya mtu inakwanga stationary. Ukweli ama uongo, the way you looked last year unakaa the same.
Yeah.
Hakuna hata inches ube lose ama inches ube gain.
No, maybe I think because you're cold weather, the past month I might be like 1 kg up. But I have a skill there with me. Like I even measure like my podcast guests. Wengine unikasirikia wanakasirika ati nimeambia. I found that so insensitive. I'm like, I just ask if you want to, because on my podcast I talk about health, wealth, love and happiness. And then we're always comparing. So I'm always asking people before. It's like, okay, how much do you think you weigh? And then somebody says. And then when they step on a pata, maybe they're like 4 or 5 kgs down or 3, 4, 5 kgs up. But it's those ones of like, we're just having a conversation. And like for me, I'm just telling you for me being in my 30s, it's like I understand how some of the things that I was taking for granted, it's like, yes, you eat right, Nini. I was taking them for granted. Until now, the doctor is telling you like, hey, by the way, how have you been eating and Nini? And then I'm like, I'm so stupid because if I can just cook my meals, I can still make good meals. You know, if it's chicken, like, you know, I can make like really nice, tasty chicken. Now I cook. That's what I'm saying. Like, people traumatize me nikiona bills za brunch. It's like 2 or 3 girlies or a group of 5, 6 people. Man, I'm looking at the bill. I'm like, hey, oh, man, I'm cooking lobster in the house. I'm cooking steak in the house. I'm cooking nini. I'm using olive oil. I'm nini. But I'm eating good food. But pia considering like, you know, I make my salads and everything, balance it well, mix it up with exercise. I still, at the end of the day, I think I'm doing 10 times a better decision than somebody who's not doing that. Because like, I'm just saying, if you've ever found yourself or if you know a loved one who's been in hospital because of like just something like, just those things, diabetes, high blood and because of just weight, it can give you like a wake-up call. And then I have like 2, 3 friends who are doctors. Yeah, they're telling me like now, like even the state of like younger people getting things like cardiac arrest is way much higher compared to like kitambo, because now we have a lot of processed foods. People eating fast food and nini. So, you know, it's just one of those things I'm saying I'm trying to take. But I also preach it like on the podcast all the time. I'm always telling people. So people like, unaboke, ongea tu kila sajia. And I'm like, yo, trust me, it changes a lot.
What does it
change? Like how you feel, your quality of life. I'm just telling everything, literally everything changes. Everything changes. And like, even like, and even that's why nowadays people just see me opening up like Fashion Nova merchandise all the time. It's because now I can fit them like properly and they look like kind of like fit me any well. I feel good about it without necessarily spending way too much money. But, you know, everything. And even when dating, different experience as well. This thing of being asked, I'm seeing your ribs. My ribs were just like a piano. So, but I'm just saying, it changes like a lot about how you and conduct yourself, feel about yourself. But most importantly, like just health. Forget about like even at how what people feel or even what you feel. Because at times we'd want to feel the way we're feeling. But what if you find yourself in hospital? You say me, I was just following my feelings. No, it will be like a reality check though. See? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
But I still emphasize.
Okay.
Love yourself at every version. And loving yourself means making the right decisions for you. You dead us know what you need to do, so do it.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
We agree to disagree on that. Okay, so no, there's something else we had mentioned about and then we said we're coming back to Nini. What was it? Something I mentioned.
My childhood.
Yeah. Thank you, God. Oh, yeah. You're such a nice person.
Eh.
I would have been asking myself, like, how could you let her go without asking that? I would have been regretting. I've been trying to get you
I
for
have
part
nothing
2.
interesting to say though. Ilikuwa tu.
So you just throw that out there, like, just by the corner your salt bay. You just throw salt and then you walk away. And then you walk away. No, just to give context and understand, like even on my podcast, it's people to see how you said you got a better understanding from Sarah and Tesotis, but just what you can share, what you're comfortable with, not me, but just like even maybe it can explain. Because for me, I'm just looking at you, how you're talking and everything. I'm like, hey, my parents did a real. That's the only thing I've said like 4 or 5 times probably. Yeah, but then you're like, hey, it wasn't just like a bed of roses. You'll get that phone call. Oh, sasa umehama. You've started talking now, eh?
My parents are good.
Okay.
They're okay. Again, I am the firstborn in a family of 2. I grew up in Kayole, majorly. My school was I went to really nice school. My father is not a rich man, but that man really did try. I went to really good schools. High school nilikuwa St. George's. It was not too bad, but I feel like bado nilikuwa na ile mentality ya nimetoka gitu, like nimetoka kutwa tu na do, I have to make money. Yeah, also being the firstborn, I think I was the parentified kid, and I was a parent to everyone. Even my parents. But like, me no call shots. I was like less, yeah. But I was raised Christian. I had a religious background. Yeah, my mom was very strict. But otherwise, I feel like my childhood was fair. We didn't have a lot, but we didn't lack.
Oh, that sounds like a very soft life to me. That's soft life. Well, what's this part and you're gonna say, nini? By then my childhood wasn't so hit. And then, by then my dad gave me everything. I went to St. George's. St. George's is actually a nice school.
It is a nice school.
A very nice school.
But
very nice school.
Nikiingia St. G by the way, niliingia na 377. Na hiyo time walikuwa wanachukua 376. So nikiingia mangu aliniambia ujue wewe ndio huku, wewe ndio danda. Na ujue wewe ndio mna pesa, wewe ni maskini. So mimi nikiingia high school niliingia. Nakwambiaje, I went in to prove something. Like I deserve to be here. I also deserve a chance. Yeah. So my high school was not as bad. I was a stand-up comedian. That was very funny in high school. Yeah. Always number 1 in comedy though. Yeah, ilikuwa tu sawa. Ni venye I feel like if you're the overachiever child, there's always so much pressure. Like you can't fuck up. Hakuna makosa unafaa kupatikana. Ikuwe ni masomo, ufai kufail. Ufai kuwe in any like it was just at a church. I was a leader at church at some point. So I was always under scrutiny, even for everything I posted. It was just, yeah, nasty. But then mbona tuongelangi pressure overachievers?
No. But see, the pressure we're talking about, but still there's pressure. There's some kind of pressure. And whether it's from relatives or from home, and like expectations of you, like you just can't seem to fail.
You cannot afford to fail.
There's a girl who was here on the podcast and she said she was so afraid of failing her KCSE that she passed out in the exam room because of fear. And then I was like, Kwani, how hard were the exams? What number were you becoming like in school? I was like on a regular, Kwani, what number were you like? Unajua in school, what number? She said number it was either 1, 2, or 3. And I was like, by the way, you know what? Just leave me alone. That nonsense. I'm like, this is nonsense, by the way.
It's a lot of pressure.
Because I'm just thinking, like, those are some things that I think all parents in general want their kids to be successful. And of course, if your parents are insisting on, like, make sure, nini. So, but at the end of the day, if you've realized it now, like you're outside, school doesn't mean everything. It doesn't determine your destination for everything that most of the people who are getting A's, I don't think any of them can say they're in better positions than me.
Give me time.
Impossible.
Give me time.
You're there. You're good. Because I'm just telling you on how you conduct yourself. When I'm talking about, like, you see, what I'm saying about parents and maybe Nini, it's like you said, your dad didn't have everything. He still made sure like my girl is getting what? Everything that she needed. I'll send you clips of girls when they're talking about their dad here. Once who've like their dad has disappointed them.
But my dad has his own flaws though.
Yeah, but he did provide.
Yeah, he did provide.
Was he present?
Afanyangi kazi Kenya, so tulikuwa, I think nimemuonanga tu once.
Which is even worse, because he had to stay away from his family to provide for his family.
Yeah, I do empathize. But
That's
nataka
crazy.
pesa nimpatie retirement plan.
Yeah. Because can you imagine, like, even as an adult, how that's such a hard thing to do?
It is.
Because you've had, like, these people who get, like, the job opportunities of, like, UAE. These people who go to Middle East. These people who go to Canada. Because, you know, like, when you get those two visas, you can't just be coming back and even unataka. Somebody gets that, they go, and then they have to work, like, 4-5 years. They send money and then even plan for something. And I think, who was I talking to? Like, either like some girl who was like, hey, my mom is overseas and doing any. And then I'm like, I think at times even people don't understand. It would be so sad because I want parents, like if you're working extreme, tell even the kids the work that you're doing. No, because like there's somebody who like, yeah, they know their parent is abroad. And they're just playing games because like, see, he's giving me this and that. But they don't know how abroad somebody has to do like 4 or 5 jobs just to stay afloat and send you guys something. Because my rent is like $1,500, $2,000. Most guys work tirelessly. And number 2, their family is not there. Me knowing I'm away from my daughter or my son for like a couple of years. Yes, I'm sending money. Maybe I can do video calls and stuff. I wouldn't want that. It wouldn't be by choice.
Yeah.
You have to really,
an ideal.
Yeah, you have to have like a really evil wife to say like, hey, Mazen may get transfer. I'm in Canada. Wow, I don't have to see her like 5 years. Niongezeni 2 more years, 7 years even. No, but just because they'll be at a peaceful level wakiwa huko, but they can still provide. Not leaving your wife and nini, but you can still provide for her. But you know, there's those people who are just like probably toxic. They just never seem to get along, but maybe it works wakiwa separately, but everything still moves. So I'm just saying they've still done a good job.
Yeah, they did.
People are broken out here. People are broken. Trust me, I'll tag you like a couple of episodes and even some people share and then I'm like, how haven't you gone for therapy? How are you surviving till now? Because like I remember there's a girl like I interviewed her and I told her like, you can't even be friends with you. You're a psychopath. Because of just all the evil things she was saying. But it was because of her childhood experiences. And I was like, so even if we are friends, you'll project so many different things on me. Even if I'm just being like a person. But to you, you'll be like, everything reminds you, when you're talking about, even how somebody talks about men, it tells a lot as well. You pick up like, 1, 2, 1, 2, like how at times when I mention men and then you give me a certain nini. I'm like, we don't have to talk about it now. Okay, we can have a part 2. We can have a part 2. We can have a part 2 and open this kind of worms here so that they can. Are you in a relationship right now?
No. Yeah.
You can tell.
Why?
No, but I'm just saying anyway. But anyway, like.
But it's by choice.
It's by choice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. Like I said, we balance it out, right? But is that something that's on top of your list as you get maybe older? Like you want to prioritize on dating and stuff?
I do want to get married. I want a family.
Nice.
With kids. It's a want. It's not a need. Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing. Like, I think that's what will make me like feel like complete now. Not like a baby mama, but like a family. Like I actually love her and I love the kids.
Down the line. At the moment, I do enjoy my individuality though. Like it's just nice. I don't know.
When was the last time you were in a relationship?
In January, I was dating.
Wait, do you like boys or do you like girls?
Both.
Hey, guys. Well, we have another one here, guys. Hey.
But I just...
Give me a minute, first of all. See, I was just asking that because I'm like, I can't tell here. I can't tell.
Unfortunately, I do like the men. I do like men. Yeah.
You said, unfortunately, you like men, you like women, or you like men? Wait, what do you like now, Basi? So maybe you like both, but says what's the season?
I like good, intelligent people, but that's my type.
Good, intelligent people.
Yeah, just be a decent person, be very smart. That's my type.
Boy or girl doesn't matter.
No.
Would you get married to a woman though and still start a family?
That's the thing. Because I do want to have kids. If there's a way, fine. Otherwise, I feel like I can still tolerate men. I still love men.
Wait, but you're still young. Like, what would make you like? Because you've dated both. What would make you like? Still look at it like I can tolerate.
I can tolerate because I like the masculine energy. I like to be in my feminine. So I want the masculine. Plus
taking control or protecting and providing. Now we have to need it because now I need to see there's a conflict of other things here.
In terms of who?
No. I'm just trying to think like, if talking about independence and everything, if a man is coming to protect and provide, because a masculine man will do that. Protect, provide, and you'd want somebody who would lead you as well, right?
Yeah.
So you'll have to submit.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah.
So you're just wasting women's time. Thank you.
Let me tell you. There are women who are like that though. But I like my women feminine. Like, I like femmes.
So you'll be the Nini. I don't see that. I don't see that. Yeah, because you're girly.
Yeah, I'm very girly. But I don't know. At the moment, let's just say we are giving niggas a chance. Let's see.
Man, this generation, I'm just trying to figure things out. Like, it's so hard. Yeah.
If worst comes to worst, then no, let me just not say that. That's not a good way.
No, what? What did you want to say? You're like, no, I'm not touching on that.
Yeah.
Wait, so the last relationship you're in, was it with a guy or is it with a...
It was the guy. I think walinipata tu time mbaya. I was in the process of moving out. There was just a lot
It's
happening.
when you're moving now?
Yeah, when I was moving out. There was just a lot happening. This is the first time I'm living alone, so kulikuwa na so much uncertainty around it. There's the money issue. Like, I was just going through it. House hunting. Like, there was just a lot happening. And here time to look when I feel I don't have the time to bring in another person, even care. Also for the fact that bado pesa zote ni mimi nilikuwa najitafutia, bado I was still actively like I didn't get a break.
He wasn't assisting kidogo. He wasn't a provider.
Nikasema bye.
Kama ni hapana.
How is my quality of life improving? No.
I'll be having your own stress and then ingine on top.
Imagine.
No. If somebody's coming to make your things easier. Oh, that's why you're saying like, by the way, me, I don't mind. I can like a guy for liking you see. You're going against a lot of things by the way that you're saying.
Come back again.
You left him because he wasn't?
He was not trying.
So he was broke. So actually, even some of the best girls, when they give us testimonies about how they can love somebody, even if they don't have something, they'll still eventually leave you. They'll get tired of that nonsense and still leave you.
True. I won't fight that
100%, right?
I won't fight that one.
Yeah.
I tried, man. Plus, I just didn't like him. If I liked him, maybe I'd have tried.
So what did you like about him to be with him? If you didn't even like him and he still wasn't providing.
We were dating. We're not in a relationship.
No, but you... okay.
Yeah, I try, man. Try.
Okay, then...
Be generous.
Yeah, true. Come with a shopping at least.
Something.
True. And it's not that hard, by the way. You can do some of the basic things. No, because at times we take those things for granted. Come with a shopping for the house.
Okay, we'll put on a video. But kuna time I got so irritated. That time, I think I just moved and he just wanted to come see my house. So alikuja tu kuangalia I had nothing. Like nilikuwa tu na kiti. Kuta na curtains. So my man, amekuja tu kuangalia sema wow. Ai, nikasema no.
Wait, and then he was just like
right. No, nikasema no. Cannot be what God has planned for me.
This can't be my fate.
No.
Well, you see, that's what I'm talking about. That's weird now. But that's why I was talking about, like, when we're talking about conversations about the podcast, the way I was saying. I was saying, like, even for I do have fun. I do my fun videos and everything. But I do talk about financial literacy a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, yo, guys, trust me. You figure out, like, your money situation, it makes so many other things easier. If you want to, your girl has had a bad day, or she's just upset with you, you can say like, hey, by the way, so we go eat at that place you like, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That can cushion so many other things. By the time you're leaving Uko, relaxed. You can send her some flowers during Valentine's. I might just surprise her with two random things. You're shopping Vitu online, buy her something that she likes. Shopping, you already know what she needs in the house. Mm-hmm. How do you walk in a house that doesn't have curtains and then you're just like, hey, now the curtains are expensive by the or at least tell her like, okay, so do you have any cash set aside? Because me talk about money so much that if I went in somewhere and then I just like, okay, like, hey, that Nini, are you planning on be like, okay, so how much do you have? I can top up or something. No. Now that's like just would be like my mentality automatically. So it's just one of those things. And even like on the podcast, like if you go and watch like my podcast episodes, the people who watch them, like there's so many people by the end of the podcast, I just pay their rent.
You can pay mine.
No. I was just about to say.
That's okay.
But I hadn't finished my statement. I just said. No. But this is not the season. It's not the season right now. When my bonuses are there in check and and we always talk about, that's always something that I do. But I always try and do something for people who follow me and stuff, or like from my podcast and stuff. I do that a lot. But it's because I always talk about finances so much. And I'm always trying to explain to people, like, if you structure this, if you save, if you invest, yes, you're young, you can try and have your fun. But understand, I think a lot of people like who are young now, the only biggest issue is like they don't understand or have come into terms like, you'll get older. And how you get older is like, now see your Gen Z. Give it like a couple of 5 years. You see those kids that you were seeing playing Uko with bikes and nini, now they've turned into adults.
Sure.
Now that they're young people, and then they're reminding you like, you're saying you're how old? Hey, when him's there? I'm like, and then now it hits you like, oh, shit.
The sad part about growing up is that physically you cannot feel like when you became this tall. Like,
I'm actually an adult.
Yeah, like what I don't know. Mm-hmm.
But also things like bills, nini,
Okay, hapo ndio niko hapo. Adulting is, I think now I'm properly adulting. But I don't hate it. I actually love being an adult.
That's good.
Yeah, I love it.
Responsibility, freedom.
Yeah. And I get we talk about bills, but then it bills ni shida. Paying the bills is the problem. When you can pay the bills,
you're good.
Life is good.
And maybe if you're doing something that you enjoy, it's not like a job that unajua. Because like we said, remember I told you about the stripper she was making? 70 a week. But also now I have to remind you, like, in a week, there's some nights she's required, like it's stripping and escort. The same roof. There's some nights you have to sleep with, like, maybe, because you're under like a strip club. So they have rooms as well. There's some nights you're required to sleep with 10 people. Some nights you're required to sleep with 3 people. Festive season, 15 people. Usema.
I know sometimes we do things for money, sawa, but musema, God gave everyone something in their hands. There's something you can naturally do. There's something that comes naturally to you. Use that to make money. Ata I'm talking, I don't have money.
Nothing comes naturally. Yes or no? You can tell me if I'm wrong.
Yes, it comes naturally, but if you can avoid it. Otherwise, I'm not judging, but I'm just saying there's something. Nilianza kufanya hair as as a way to survive after campus, because I don't know why I didn't start in campus. Maybe I wish I started in
You'd
campus.
have grown that personal brand, and you know, those house calls you can imagine would have been fully booked.
Vibaya sana.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think kulikuwa na bado I think ilikuwa internal shame. Let me just say that.
Really?
Yeah.
What? About
also,
what?
I think I was not as confident doing other people's hair. I used to do my own hair. I do my own hair. And maybe my friends. But kuchukua like client ilikuwa very...
I don't understand, by the way. Because I've seen like your page for the hair, and I'm like, what? You can actually do this.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah.
And the same way you're saying, like in campus is where you practice those two ninis. Me in campus, I was selling paka shoes, iPhone cables, like whatever. Like I was selling everything. Literally. Somebody would tell me like, hey, that shirt is nice. Like, bye. I was selling everything.
That's nice.
Everything.
I wish I started before.
And I think that's the best mentality you can have when you're still growing as a young person. Because now you'll get to a point where you've already understood like hustling from the ground with things. I'm telling you, like, you know, I used to sell like MacBook chargers, laptop, like, you know, Lenovo chargers. And I didn't have a shop, but my friends had a shop. So I would take like the laptops, have them delivered there, do my thing. And then like I was literally just doing everything because I was like, extra cash for this, extra cash for this. I had like a bit of extra cash to do.
Okay. Kutafuta pesa si ngumu.
It's not hard.
Si ngumu. Ukiona yeah. There's always something you can do. There's something. Always, and it's good money.
And I started making content for people using my iPhone. And then I started getting clients recording with my iPhone. And I was like, okay, so content here, and then kidogo. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, at times, like when I see people like not utilizing like their early 20s the way they should, because that's when you have the most energy, you have the most time, and then you can try different things. So if you don't even want to wake up and try and even just learn, make money mistakes early, so that once you're past like 25, you're not doing like, there's some things you see people doing. Like, that's what I'm saying. Think about the celebrities that we've seen come into hard financial times and we thought they were good. It's crazy. Or even people that maybe we were seeing on TikTok and they were painting like a picture of like, hey, my lifestyle is this and this. And then before people know it, they're like, oh, okay, it's not all this. Oh, this guy is coming like some sugar mummies. This girl gets her rent paid with sijui nani. This girl was all those things, you know. Yeah. And of course, the people who sell the natural nini. You know, so, I mean, I'm just saying like, you know, there's so many other things you can do, but try and figure it out early, because that should be like the last resort, I think. Like, you know, like Scott and Nini, you can do it as a last resort, because at the end of the day, you still have to eat.
Okay, if worst comes to worst, you can use it as a stepping stone.
And the only issue is like, I think once you taste that life...
No, use it as a stepping stone. Hear my voice when you do it.
No, I know. But you see, that's why I'm saying, like, even for you, why I'm saying your parents have really tried, it's because of even, you see, like, even when I'm talking about the thing that you say, like, maybe it should be considered to be legal. I'm saying, like, but you're like a partner, but still, because you still have a conscience inside you. You know, like, it's not the right path to take. And still goes to parents. Hey, parents, you're doing a good job. You did a good job. You did not fail. Asijaribu kusema hapa nini, she was just eating ice cream, playing around in bouncing castles. What kind of food were you eating in your school? Did they have like chapos and nini?
High school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey!
High school si tulikula vizuri. We used edit tulikuwa na cocoa.
Don't tell me about that nonsense of hardships.
Tulikuwa na cocoa. Every supper. That's nice.
You know what else we ate? Githeri, and then ugali and cabbage or spinach.
That's not a parent's issue.
No. Every single day.
Oh my God.
For 3 months till you come back home.
Oh God.
Every single day.
Sorry.
Everything. But I'm just saying, you see, but still I don't look at that like it was punishment and stuff. I'm just saying, like, if parents made sure, like, you know, it's not like, you know, you're in a prison or nini. Trust me, like, most of the things, it's up to you now to change. Like, they pushed you up to here. And now another thing I can tell you is, anytime I interview someone who has had to get into that lifestyle where they have to sell themselves. And most of the time, it's people who are coming from, like, hood, Dandora. It could be like, but it's just hood areas. Meaning, because I remember when I was asking like that girl, and I was asking like, when you're not ashamed, like your friends are not judging you. Like, all my friends are hoes. That's what we do. I'm like, there's nothing else. I asked her, like, you don't know anyone from your network, after if it's Uncle Nani who's a doctor or a nurse. She said no. Everyone literally from her squad, that's what they do. So even product of your environment, it means like, and think about like in general, it would be girls who are coming from less fortunate places that would have to, but even though like even nowadays, like, middle class girls still do it.
Let me say something.
Yes.
I think tulihama Kayole nikiwa 14. I think nilikuwa at the height of adolescence. And around place tulikuwa tunaishi, I had like a clique of friends. But at that age, watu walikuwa washaanza ku-experiment na like drugs and whatever. And of course kulikuwa na peer pressure. But this is nikisikia stories zingine niko like, okay, I empathize. I understand. Because genuinely musema, I think there's one time kuna mtu alichukua P3. Yeah. Kakuja kama mamangu tutashikwa nini. Nilipanishwa gari ushago straight.
Oh, she's like,
But then kwa narudi tulikuwa tushahama Kayole. It was that bad. Alisema tu, So, I don't know, kuna ka shielding.
But she knew, like, if it imefika hapa, the next thing
go bad.
The next thing is this.
Yeah, musema, I thank God for high school. Kasi high school, sengekuwa ghetto.
Because even when you say it, like me, I grew up in Kayole. I'm looking at you, I'm like, I'm like, what do you mean? But I'm like, on Kayole gari, watu wanaongea hivi. Do you remember when Calligraph was coming from Kayole? Venye alikuwa na dress and the way he was talking. Forget about now. But even him then and the people, his squad na nini, ilikuwa tu zile za
I understand, but kunako ka where you grew. Environment is very important.
And even girls who are there right now, like in the hood in Kayole, I'm sure you know how their surrounding is, their influence and what they do like during their free time. It's not what other kids in other places are doing, but it's because of the environment. And even unfortunately, Sasa, those parents who don't go out of their way for your extra shilling, like sending you boarding school, ama like shags or whatever, your kids will be influenced by their other friends.
Sure.
And of course, they'll get into so many other... Kwanza drugs almost inevitable. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, just looking by you, I can tell, like, they did a good job. And you've also done like a good job as well. They did their part, you've done your part.
Yeah.
So saizi utupostie like those baby daddies wanakaa sijui nini.
Shindo.
Hey. There's one I want to show you by the as we're finalizing, because I've seen... But what do you think of the podcast so far?
Good. Hata naangalia time niko like, yeah.
I know, right? What do you want to see? What do you want to
ask? Ndio nimeanza YouTube. Say hata kufikisha hata video 20 minutes na struggle.
I can imagine. But you'll get used to it, imagine.
Yeah.
You'll get used to it. The more you do it, the more you get like new ideas. So I want to show you, like, we're talking about peer, like how women were posting like the useless things I got my kid. I want to show you the girl posted the kid, and then tunajua inaanza na like a music whatever, and then it switches to the baby daddy. So just picture, she's saying like, the useless things I got my kid, and then I want to show you a picture of the baby daddy. And then you tell us the truth. If it was her mistake or the baby daddy, who's on the wrong between the two? Sawa. And don't just say what you feel.
Nani baby daddy?
Yeah, the useless things she got her kid. Can this guy convince you?
Again, we can't judge.
Come on now. We have to judge by the... Even her, she had to switch off her comments because she knew that was nonsense. And it wasn't even guys. It's women. They're like, apana. There is no way. We can't blame him. This guy was just probably passing by the road, minding his own business.
No.
Ukaanza kucheka naye. Can
Again,
he convince you?
There's always a reason
Can he
why people
Sawa,
do.
let's
Mimi
not
haezi
judge him.
convince. Hata
But
haezi
why are you
convince.
judging him? Why are you judging him?
Haezi convince.
Tumesema we shouldn't judge people. Why? We
Okay,
don't
but
think he
the
has a big heart, a big kind heart.
That's why I'm saying.
You don't think he has a big kind heart? Waka his sleeves are off. He probably has a very big heart.
Nah. But
Exactly. We'll stop playing those games. Stop playing games
no,
here.
acha nikwambie. Nana nasema at some point we need to reach a place. And unajiuliza, why the hell do you do the things you do? Why the hell would you sleep with someone like that? There's always a reason. But there's always that. Maybe ana invoke a certain emotion that you wanted. Unajua hata
Okay, explain me what kind of emotion
know,
you can invoke.
This is hard.
It's
Again,
hard.
self-worth.
It's
self-love.
Yes, exactly. You have to be selfish.
Hard.
You have to be selfish when umesema, si ndio?
This episode is hard.
Why?
Pendi wanaume wakikubaliana na mimi. I don't like it. Anyhow, I need to work on that.
No, you'll be okay. It's healing process. But has any guy ever done you dirty so that it's just left a bad stain maybe on you?
No.
Betrayal or something?
No. I think
What is it about like just guys, Basi, in general that makes you either call like suspicious, not easy, not comfortable, kabisa? Where does that stem from?
it's not about men. I think it's about some type of thinking. Ushasikia mtu ukiongea mpaka unasikia uchungu, like it's just so stupid, like it's just some weird, like yeah. That's my problem. Otherwise, I don't hate men.
Maybe those are the men you attract who talk like that.
No.
You know they say you are what you attract, right?
I know, but I'm not on kwa internet. My circle is very solid.
Okay. Yeah, no, but I understand. But anyway, I know we've talked like about so many different things, but hope we've touched like on basis of like everything. So as we just wind up, what's the one thing that you think you're pursuing like right now? And if you got it, like, it would give you better meaning, better direction in life, make you slightly more happier because, it's...
At the moment.
Yeah, at the moment. See it like future, like at the moment. Probably even this year.
My problems are going to be solved with money.
Currently,
I just need...
That's a dangerous statement.
I need a business.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I need a business.
Better. That's better. Hey, listen. I don't want to answer that question. And then uniangalie hivi ati I don't want you to slap me at the end of the episode na tuko karibu kumaliza.
Anywho, yeah, I need a business. Also, I'd like my page or my social media to grow. Yeah, I need bigger checks and bigger businesses. Yeah, me, to be honest, imwaka natafuta pesa.
I think keep pushing your platforms. I think also like YouTube, don't ignore it because you already have people on TikTok. Try to pull a few uko hivo, like even they get you to like 20-30K. You can amass so many different, and then you can package different things. Now, if it's pushing like your hair business, if it's pushing other things that you do, is there anything else you do like on the side apart from that brings money?
Training.
Training.
I teach kids in school.
Oh, you teach? Do you teach?
Dance.
Oh, wait. So like these are like gigs that hire you consistently?
Unajua CBC sasa iko na dance kama lesson.
Hey. God forbid.
Say everything is
so
lesson.
Dances near like do you pick like dances that are trending or how does that work? I don't know.
Just like any other teacher chances. You create a work plan. Like what you're gonna teach from week 1 to week nini, how you're going to assess the kids.
You assess the dancing.
Ndio mzazi ajue kama hapa kuna future ama mpeleke kwingine tuendelee.
But is that a compulsory like nini?
No, it's not compulsory. Okay, it's a ni lesson but the kids choose where to go. So there's there's dance, there's chess, there's skating, there's drama,
What?
there's so na CBC na try kuna cha talent.
Oh, okay. Because I remember I was asking somebody, hey, like sasa venye music imetolewa. So they have music and you can do like music the way you have like those ones for writing notes and nini. Okay, makes sense.
Tuanze mapema kama vitabu haziingii tuende kwingine.
That's true. Yeah. So you can understand your kids like way much earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so in general, it's just trying to advance yourself like as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So we just can't say just money. If you just say money, you can sell drugs and make money by the end of the year. You can do money laundering. I'm just giving you ideas. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I have a friend who has a massage parlor. You know.
Okay. Me, I want to make money in the easiest way. Me spendi kuchoka.
Listen, we can't say that. No.
In the easiest way.
What does that mean? Okay, think about it this way. Let's pick like some of the best paying jobs in the country. Which one doesn't entail hard work?
Kila kazi inakuanga na shida
Pilot?
yake. Kila kazi iko na shida.
Pilot, when do they even rest? When are they even home?
That's the thing. Me, I want to have at least time for me.
Doctors?
Hiyo ni kazi yao.
Top news anchors, engineers. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like any of the highest jobs that you can think of, like even let's think maybe about like even if it's content creators, like some of the best ones, like you've said, super consistent. Like, you know, maybe Murugi, she's super consistent. That's why over the years you can say like one thing you can identify is like she posts a lot and how she does everything. She's consistent with a lot of things. So I don't think there's anything you can choose. You better choose something that you enjoy so that it doesn't feel like work. Good.
Okay, but again,
what's an easy way of making money that you won't get tired and you're making a lot of money?
You will get tired, Katai.
Like what? Like give me an example, maybe like 2 jobs.
I just don't want to be like I don't like example what I do with content and training and hair. I get to decide my schedule. So I can give myself an off at any time. I can it's just
but
I determine how much I earn.
Yeah. But for you to make more money, it entails you doing what?
Doing more.
Yes.
But not more to a burnout. I feel like half of the people right now are just existing. It's just work, sleep.
But remember again, also like I said, when you're younger, you have that energy. Wouldn't you rather work hard now or would you want to work harder when you're older? It's now you have the energy. Like you said, you're very active with a lot of things. You know, those dancing classes, you can't do them in your 30s.
I know.
Hey, you'll be hivi kidogo, your heart huku ina pump ni kama sijui like what. But now you have the energy. You can do that. You'd rather do like and dedicate like the rest of 4 years coming, building like a proper big solid fan base if it's on YouTube, like TikTok and everything, so that it's easier for you then. So if you have something in your package, okay, somebody mentioned it and I've mentioned it again. Like see, even Murugi has done like a seminar thing that she did like online with, and how much was she charging?
10,000.
Yeah, and how many people had signed up?
She made 1 million.
Yes, sir. Okay, so we do understand you're working hard to build that fan base. You're also like attracting people who now, in the next few years, if you have something to sell for them, can actually package it and they will pay. And you can make that money without working as hard as you are working during, because she wasn't getting that during her 20s, early 20s, right?
She was.
1 million.
She was making money.
No, she was making money, but she wasn't like, listen, the concept of what I'm saying is like,
I get
see, the seminar is like online.
Mm-hmm.
Can you really pull off like numbers like that, like just online, like, you know, without building a proper fan base? You have to have worked proper. So that's why, like, you know, when they're doing like these women things, like where Caro is again, Rubadiri is, and all those things, you see like the entry fees for such things like 15, 20, 25 Gs. It's because they've built themselves to like that level. So all I'm saying, like, you'd rather do the hard work now and enjoy the process, because when you get older, it gets easier. And you can spoil either if it's your girlfriend then or your boyfriend then. You can spoil them. And you don't have to get worried about guys not contributing anything in your life. You'll be like, even if you're broke, it's okay. I got you. My money is just flowing. The disgust in your face when I say a broke guy, by the way. I thought you said love can just be unconditional, even if it's... So maybe you can spoil the guys who are trying. So love guys who are trying.
Yeah.
Don't go against things you said at the beginning of the episode. So are you against or is it okay? Would you... Yo.
I'm trying, man. But also meet me at my level, though.
Yeah, somebody like this, you see, he's trying.
Meet me at my level.
Okay, guys. So now, anyway, if you have advice for any young girls who are coming to the content space and they're just trying to figure themselves out because, it's not easy to find your niche at times or just get your lane. Like, what advice would you have for somebody who's just trying to figure things out? Young girls, of course, boys, I don't need to say.
Unaweza sikiza tu.
Sikiza tu, by the way. Ka uko hapo already. Just,
I think with content, you just have to show up. Like any other job, show up. Make sure atukusahau. Sawa?
Yeah.
Like consistency, just post. Also, package yourself in a way that you can get as many jobs because packaging is the thing. Unaweza kuwa na numbers and no brand aligns with what you're doing. So packaging is also very, very important. Yeah, otherwise consistency. But if you show up, kiasi, your emails will be full of proposals. Yeah, they always come.
Do you want to plug like your business or other things you're doing that people can come and just check out or buy services or products?
Follow me on my socials. Follow me on my socials, especially my YouTube. That's my baby I'm trying to grow. Yeah.
So on YouTube, Online Bestie.
Yes.
Okay. So guys, this was an amazing interaction, and thanks for just showing up. Of course, I was disappointed you're here a bit late because I was just looking at her. I'm saying she seems so professional, by the way. So that's the only disappointment I have. But I'm joking.
Okay.
No, but I'm just saying, thank you for at least like taking your time to responding, because you responded and we scheduled it like almost immediately and you didn't make any fuss about it. But honestly speaking, I do see like you having like a very bright future based on just your personal principles and how you're moving. So I do hope like, you just stay consistent, keep doing what you're doing. There's so many other things that everything that you're looking for, it's gonna fall in your lap.
It will.
So you just have to be ready though.
Yeah.
Because isitishe hizi vitu zote and then when they fall in your lap, if you're like, hey, what am I supposed to do? Those blessings will always come. As long as you're consistent, stick in your lane, you're good.
Okay.
So thanks for showing up. Wish you nothing but the best. And are we doing a part 2?
Thanks for having me. Kwanza nasikia kwa umenikona sana. I'm coming back with receipts.
No TV.
Wacha tu. And I need to be prepared. Nilikuwa underprepared.
No, you did well. But you also have to understand, like, most pointers is things that I've talked about and I always have, like, because this is what I do. It's like, if I start...
It's a good conversation. I think I handled it well. I rarely do podcasts with men.
Oh, you don't do podcasts?
No, actually, this is my first one.
Hey, come on.
Like with babes and like women, yeah. I did well.
You did. Oh, so wait, and you didn't tell me like what made you say yes to the podcast, considering you don't even go to men's podcasts.
You can hold a conversation. You can tell we can actually talk about something from, So your conversations were nice. At least they were insightful.
Yeah.
Nikaona, okay.
Why not?
I can try.
Why not?
Okay. And it was nice.
Thank you.
It was really nice. I enjoyed the conversation. 3 hours. That's mad. That's good.
Yes. That's crazy. So I hope we do like, a part 2 maybe after like a couple of months. I hope, so many different things will have changed in your direction because I can tell super progressive person, very consistent. So I think so many things will, in this digital space, it needs people like you, people who just go out of their way to push themselves. So other than that, we have to say goodbye for now, guys. We hope you enjoyed the episode. Till next time.
Bye.
The Kisscapades Podcast is your gateway to holistic growth and personal transformation. Together we'll unlock the secrets to living a life of health, wealth, love, and happiness. So make sure to tune in every week and join us as we explore the essence of what it means to truly thrive. And lastly, show us some love and support in our social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, basically all the social media platforms that support podcasting will definitely be there. Even with the short clips and reels, you can find us there. And lastly, don't be shy with feedback, suggestions, or any questions that you might have in regards to the episodes or our podcast. It's the Kisscapades Podcast. Goodbye.